Yep, I'm working on it.
And we are live. Thank you so much for joining us this Friday evening as we dive yet again into the hellish post-apocalyptic, hellscape that is Dead is Better. The zombie post-apocalypse survival horror, survivor simulation experience. Yes, all those things and so much more. As always, I am your host and game master this evening. I briefly considered calling this role director, right? Because it seemed like, we had the zombie movie angle going, but game master is sufficient. Will Thompson, that's me. With me this Friday evening are still somehow the first group of survivors. I don't know. I mean, there was a grenade last week. Like, there were flights of stairs. We have somebody bound in a wheelchair, and there were flights of stairs, and nobody died. Um, truly stupendous. Truly stupendous performance so far. But I'm afraid all good things must come to an end. But before we get there, and we get started with what the audience can see, is that's their first proper horde. We are going to have the players introduce themselves playing themselves. And the question this evening is, what do you think you would do best as a survivor in the post-apocalypse? Society goes, electricity goes, no groceries, no nothing. What would you thrive at in that situation? Why don't we start with Mary? Mary?
Hi there, I'm Mary Mead, and I play myself. But I guess what I would do well at in a post-apocalyptic area, if I would survive long enough, I would see myself starting and leading like a colony of some sort.
Oh, yeah?
Taking a leadership role is something that I do very, very frequently. And I could definitely see being that person and being able to run a tight ship, figuring out how to protect people.
Type A personality?
Yep, that's me.
People would eventually flock to your wisdom for guidance in these harsh times. Excellent, excellent. Fair answer. Hey, Bowser, how about you next?
Hey, everybody, I'm Mikey B. I'm playing myself, the former Marine, a little fatter than he used to be. But post-apocalyptic, I don't know. I think probably scavenging and hunting would be my day-to-day and what I would be good at. Some violence if it needed to be done.
Yeah, a little bit of the old pow-pow. Excellent,
yeah,
excellent.
I mean, it's in my past.
Your forte.
Yeah, I think I can bring it back.
As a youth, I saw my fair share of scraps. Unfortunately, the headbutt was my stratagem du jour, and maybe not the best situation when any cut from a human tooth could lead to your demise. I'd have to mix it up some. Sean, introduce yourself. Tell us, what would you do well in the post-apocalypse? And welcome, everyone.
Yeah, hey everybody. Sean McCrae. I think post-apocalyptic me would probably be drawn toward the garage side of it things. Like I'd be working on. I like to tinker with things. I fix all my own cars and my bike, and so I think I'd be drawn towards, since there's no electricity, I'd be with my hands and just repairing stuff.
Mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
You start to lean into your natural aptitude there. Yeah. That makes sense. Mike Skibba.
Hello, everybody. Mike, real life deputy, and in the apocalyptic world of undead, I could see myself becoming the heart of the community of where we're at. Making sure everybody stays together, keeping goal oriented, I don't know if I'd be a leader or not, but I would absolutely be that person to keep the cool head and try to keep everybody focused and not be so antagonistic towards each other.
More of a vizier than a king, huh? You know, like the advisor, I could see that. I could see that. Well, this question for me personally is fairly easy. I spent the years from 12 to 21 or so outside of doors, hitchhiking across the country, and engaging in all manner of, nefarious belligerence, right? So I think it would be much less of an adjustment for me, and I think I would do very well in a very similar role to Mike. Not many people have eaten out of a dumpster previously, so I have the constitution for that shit. I would be just fine, until I had to run 8 blocks or the heart medication ran out, But for that initial dumpster eating period, I mean, aces. I'm solid. But who, for a Benny that is not named Mike Bowser, would like to give me the recap of last week? Nobody?
He just doesn't.
Who
He doesn't
wants
want to
it?
give it to me because I have so many bennies. That's what
I
the
don't
problem
want to
is.
give it to you because I don't want to lose our 9 viewers with a rote recitation of the
I can
adventures
give you
that
the-
That's
transpired.
exactly what you're going to get if you have me do it.
Yeah.
So please, ladies, step
I
up.
can give you
If
the
nobody-
X-rated version.
If nobody wants a
I'll-
Benny, I mean, I'd be happy
You
to.
want me?
I'll give
do
have-
it.
I'll give
I'm
myself
happy
a Benny.
to, but no.
I just
If you want
Fuck
to do it,
that.
you
I
got
just
Okay.
need a little
I
pizzazz.
got
Do it.
It's just
You
a
got
little.
it.
Let's get a
Alright.
little flair, and let's not forget any horrific things that Mary may have contemplated and or attempted. Because this is starting to get. I mean, 6-gun Mary here. All I'm saying is, in the post-apocalyptic times, watch out for the ones in the wheelchair. I didn't know it, because it's not a trope that they ever exploit, right? They say, well, everybody's
Surprisingly.
able-bodied.
No.
I know, right? Wouldn't it be great? I mean, it adds another
Yeah.
layer. Like, what if the person that's, like, immune or whatever is also, like, the least able-bodied? That script writes itself, right? Then they have this whole
That's
defense
a
thing.
perfect trope. Yeah.
It really, I've never seen it in a zombie film, and I think it's an area that desperately needs to be exploited. But, yeah, watch out for them because they are fucking vicious, apparently. They are terrible people. Terrible, horrible, god-awful. Just don't give them a gun. So, Mary Bundy, or whatever your real name is, let's get the narrative here. Let's see. And I want it Benny worthy. And remember, you will have to have your character open in Fantasy Grounds to get a Benny in the first place. Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. We can make that happen. There we are. Okay, so last week was a doozy as we survived the hallway incident. And it just so happened that the cruise guy, the security guy, who, I'm not a big fan of, he was like, oh, I don't know how bacteria grows in humans, so I'm going to take your gun. That's how I saw it anyway. And because I tried to kill someone that could possibly be infected, and he had a rule saying that if we kill an innocent, then
All right. Well, now, all right. I'm gonna cut this off. I'm still gonna give you the Benny, but I can't allow this spin, this propaganda here, because this is not what happened. If they didn't watch last week, they would not be getting an accurate synopsis of what happened here. So the week prior,
pretty accurate.
There were several zombies, undead, infected husks, we've decided to call them. There were several husks in a corridor chasing down a dozen people that were scrambling and desperate to get away. It was hard to see. The lights were flickering. It was dark. It was chaos, right? They rushed to the aid of these individuals, and some of them made it past the line of zombies, this kind of wheat thresher of teeth and claws, right? And Mary saw a fellow that had a gash on his forearm and decided she was going to murder him. Premeditated murder him. So she fired a shot at his midsection and thankfully missed, which made him quite upset and understandable. I mean, you crazy bitch, why, what the hell is this? She says to him, you were wounded and we don't know how the infection works, so it was justifiable to shoot you. He tried to wrestle away the gun and failed. She's very strong, uses those arms a lot, right? Then he was held at gunpoint by the rest of the people until it was determined that he was to go back to his, his quarters, wounded but not by one of the husks, and thusly not infected, and thusly nearly unrighteously murdered. During that same exchange, poor Robert Kirkman, or excuse me, Jason Kirkman, or George Kirkman, God, you gotta get the names right. No Robert Kirkman is associated with the production of this at all in any way, nor is there a George Romero. It's clearly a George Kirkman and a Robert Romero, Captain Robert Romero, but he's dead anyway. He got blowed up. They then progress through the ship, right, to make sense of it to the, the bridge and the security area. They hear automatic weapons fire, which alerts the head of security that something is amiss because none of his officers have automatic weapons. The two ladies stay on the bridge with the captain to survey the situation and listen to radio broadcasts, which are jumbled at best at this point, and the gentlemen proceed into the very bowels, the nethers of the ship, into the darkness and the steam and the clanking machinery, headlong into the automatic weapons fire, only to terribly fail notice rolls and get ambushed point blank by a couple of husks. A fight ensues at the very same time that the red tracer dots find the center mass of everybody on the bridge, and the paramilitary team sweeps in, right? There's an engagement where the folks from the boiler room came back up to the deck. There was a sort of Mexican standoff for a minute when one of the husks, with an uneary sentience and speed, burst through the window and captured one of the people, displaying a prowess as of yet unexhibited by the infected individual, right? One of the paramilitary guys freaks TF out, right? Pulls a grenade, gets the pin out, and immediately gets leapt on by a little zombie girl. Everybody has but a few rounds to escape the bridge. I should add at this point that most people were as physically far away from the only point of egress as was physically possible, and this grenade got an initiative step and could have gone off at any time, at any round. I could have killed anybody here. The dice allowed everybody to survive. They're blown down, but the bridge is then incapacitated, completely debilitated. Comms are out, steering is out, power is out, right? It's just a rainstorm from the looming hurricane, because why not, right? Let's throw a hurricane into this bitch, right? And these folks have now evacuated to the secondary security room in the subdeck with the leader of the paramilitary organization, one Colonel John Savini, who they have interrogated. He has not been especially forthcoming when there was a pounding at the exit. They had tied off the door with a bit of rope, but it is frayed, and now the husks are bursting forth into the interior in mass. So, Mary, let's get you this hardly earned revisionist Benny.
I did not get to tell my side of the story.
I mean, I think I told your side of the story really well. Hey, I'm a heartless, ruthless murderer, and I am going to heartlessly and ruthlessly murder this guy with no provocation. I said sorry. Oh my god. Do not take this woman to a firing range. I am just saying. Holy shit. I said sorry. But, so we got an option here, guys. Before I'm even going to kick up the scary sounds, before we even dive into the atmosphere that is this horrific hellscape awaiting you, Savini's asked for his gun back, and Kirkman agrees.
This is the worst idea.
He
No.
is a special ops paramilitary trained soldier.
But
his life's on the line. He's not gonna fuck us up.
He'll screw us at any chance,
Now, if you'll
he'll
recall,
shoot us in the leg.
part of the interrogation determined that he had no idea what the fuck was going on. He had lost some of his friends already. This was not part of his mission. He has stated at least his cover story very clearly and very plainly. And he is, in fact, in this moment, a strange bedfellow, but fucking asset. Have we seen Sean shoot a gun yet? Yes. Have we seen Sean hit anything yet?
Yes.
Yes.
She kicked the shit out of that guy.
No, so
like,
she
the guy in
definitely
a coma.
booted that guy into saying, "My name's Ralph, Kevin." No, it's not. Like, he has to wear a helmet for the rest of his days. But that's not going to be super useful against a horde of husks. Right? So,
Are you
let's
trying to
just-
say I'm useless to this team, bro? Like,
we'll back
I
up
don't
a
think
minute.
so.
They are about to burst in.
fuck.
My only question is, what direction do these cell doors open?
Huh?
In or out? Do the cell
Cell
doors
doors
open in or out?
always open out.
Yeah. So that they can't barricade themselves behind the door in there.
So
Every
I think
single.
we should go in one of those. These, unless there's a smart one, they're not going to be able to open it, and we just shoot them as they pile up in front of it.
Well,
Yep.
if we got a key to it,
I
we can
agree.
lock ourselves in. Then
Yep. Absolutely. Let's get going.
What about Savini? This sounds.
I will hand Savini the knife, but he stays locked in the cell. He can stab
He
him in
can
the head.
poke them through the cell door.
That's gonna be he'll be safe that way.
All right. Well, you guys
we're
got.
going in a different cell, right?
And Savini,
Yes.
Savini, if you help us, we'll let you out. But you have to help.
Prove your worth.
I mean, to be fair, he is kind of an asshole. So
Yeah.
Give me a notice roll. Both mics, since you're in front of the cell.
I'm not ready.
Skiba. It looks like he hears something through an earpiece. And he agrees. Fine, as long as you honor your terms. Not like I have much choice.
I give him my knife. That means I lose the knife.
Yep. He will gladly take it. And he takes it, tests the weight, flips it around so it's in the proper reverse grip, like he knows what he's doing with the damn thing. And, yeah.
So he's
All
a
right.
movie commando. Okay.
Have you ever actually watched a knife fight?
Yes. Holding it like this, you can stab much further than holding it like this.
You hold it like this so that you can use it to parry a knife blow, and so that it's both a slashing and a stabbing implement in a secure grip.
Are these husks carrying knives? Because this wasn't the
All right.
At any rate.
Ladies, come into the cell.
At any
Going
rate,
in this cell.
pick a cell.
So I vote we
I would say this
all go
one.
in one. Yeah.
I would say the one to the far right, so he can't try and get us on the other side.
It's a cell. He can't see us.
Yeah, no, there's
Well,
no
I didn't know if it
visibility.
was like bars between or not.
No,
So-
solid walls, just bars on the door.
Okay.
And honestly, they probably wouldn't even be bars. I mean, you'd be stabbing them through a meal slot, but we're going to bar it up because it's more thematically appropriate.
Right.
Will we all fit into the same one, or do we need?
Yeah, I mean, you can all fit into the same cell. You might want to split it out to,
Will we be able to
Yeah.
shoot though?
In favor of not standing next to the door, I think I'll go in the other one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh.
and you guys also,
yeah,
you want to take into
with
account,
Bowser.
right, that
Okay, we can switch.
you're going to be, I take it you're not going to fire that 50 in there.
No.
Okay, good. Because it is a very small cell.
I don't expect
Yeah.
to hear anything once we leave.
Right.
But,
Well, we're not going to go 100% realistic with it, but if you were to fire that 50 in there, I mean, you'd have to roll to see which one of your ears started bleeding. God. But
yeah, maybe we should have taken the first cell so I could shoot that guy through the wall with the 50.
I'm not sure which
Good
one the deep
idea.
is.
It's a AE.
All right, Kirkman, where you coming?
I wish I had a 50 cal.
Hopefully not in me and Mike's.
No, Kirkman's going to double up with this fellow. Due to a
That
cell.
fucking idiot.
We have the key, right? The keys to the cells.
No,
Yeah,
you
I'm about
guys,
to
none
say-
of you have any keys to the cell. It's Kirkman with the keys to the cell.
What?
No, fuck.
I mean, why would
It's
you
all
guys?
good.
Where did you guys get
It's
the
not
keys to the
locked.
cell? It's not locked. That's going to be real good because
Our
So-
cells are not locked, is what I'm
Hey.
saying.
Yeah.
lots of cells close
Yeah,
and don't
I mean,
lock
no-
all the time.
Well, no, but I mean,
I guess
like,
they'd be like
when we
magnet
had
locks,
that
wouldn't
prep-
they? You'd be on reserve. I don't know how it would work, but we're going to say, all right, your cells are not locked, and we're going to assume that all of these zombies are of below average intellect, which they're definitely not. But
No, why don't we, can one of us try and talk to Kirkman to get the key? Because I don't want the key in
He
there
won't
with,
listen to me,
Yeah.
so.
I asked Kirkman. I said, Kirkman,
No.
you went in there with him. Give me the key. I'm gonna lock the 2 cells on the end.
we'll be
and
fine.
Sean, if
as,
Everything will be fine.
all right,
There's
I
no
don't want
time.
them opening the.
Kirkman's kind of an asshole, too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Just
Well, I mean,
a
Okay.
little bit.
I'm
Just a
viewing this
little.
from Kirkman's perspective, right? Like, he's the head of security on this whole ship, right? Like, everybody, with the exception of Mike Skiba, is currently a civilian, right? Like, one of you has demonstrated a complete inability to follow instructions regarding firearm safety. The other one hasn't exactly exhibited a ton of confidence, right, in any of the combat prowess areas here. He doesn't view you guys as like co-patriots in arms, right? He views you as something he needs to protect, a liability even, right? So he's not interacting with you like you're all members of the same party right now, because very few of you, frankly, at least in my viewing of the situation, like if I was George Kirkman, right, and somebody tried to murder somebody, I had a flighty arty college student, and I had a couple of guys that could lock it down, right? I think this is pretty much how I would be handling the situation as well, right? I'd start to lean into
I can
Skiba
see-
a little, you know? I'd start to lean into Bowser a little. I'd be the only person I'd really have any, like, let's converse with, though, would be Skiba. He's a deputy, you know? He has the, you know, the training, the enforcement there. So it's not, so it's like different than another game, right? Where I would be viewing you guys based, well, these are all clearly a party of badasses. I mean, Sean, for the love of God, Sean, like, you spent the first, like, night going, where's my anxiety medication? You know?
yeah, I know,
Like,
I know.
there's-
I'm not asking for the key.
Right.
Skiba is, and so
right. And
I'm just like, hey, could we? I didn't talk. Skiba asked.
Rather than leave the key in there where Sir Ganks a lot, I think is what we're
Yeah.
getting at.
he's
Yeah,
not
that's
concerned
exactly.
about Sir Ganks-a-Lot, because if Sir Ganks-a-Lot stabs him in the neck or whatever, he still has to deal with all of this. It doesn't logically follow unless you guys are using outside. This guy clearly has sinister machinations information, right? Like, he sees this guy, right, as frankly, right, if the rest of y'all get fucked, at least him and this other guy are going to make it out of here. I mean, he made the smart choice for himself, right?
Well,
Like, and
yeah.
I know you guys, it's not the best choice for you guys, but if you think that in the zombie apocalypse, that every figure is going to be like, let's think equally for the group, right? Like,
Well, yeah, he's not a hero, is what you're saying.
he's not a villain, he's not a hero. I think he weighed the odds, right? And he came to the logical conclusion that you need to split the people into distinct firing groups to separate the horde, right? 2 people in all these other cells, right? This guy doesn't even have a firearm. He needs him for information. He would like to use his team to get the fuck out of here. So he is trying to build an alliance there, right? If that comes at the exclusion of Trigger Happy Wheels and Angsty College Girl and a couple of random dudes,
We'll
I
see
can't
who's
believe
still
you
alive
tried to
at the end
kill
of
that
this.
guy, like in line of sight of him. Mind you, he did accidentally kill a woman already, so it's not like he's infallible. But at least
There's
he
a
wasn't
lot of
trying to, for the love of God. But we have moved on from this to the, well, just that full-on, give me that zombie magic.
Hey, Sean, grab the bed sheets off the bed and do a little noose around the cell door,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can be pulling.
Okay.
So you can be pulling it shut,
Okay. I'm gonna, yeah, try and
and I'll be
figure out the
firing.
knot and I'll to keep it closed.
So you're going to have to probably pull on it so they can't pull against you.
Oh my goodness, guys. There are just so
There's quite
many.
a few of these.
The guy's back. Okay, wait 1 sec. Well, like, was there any reason, like, has there been a noise or something that, like, drew them here?
Oh yeah, they were
Or, like,
pounding on the door last week, probably on account of your loud conversations. But yeah, now they are all milling in here.
Gotcha.
The first thing I am going to need before we get this initiative sorted here
Okay.
is a notice roll from everybody. Add a -2.
Okay. God. Getting it out of the way. Getting it out of the way.
Bowser, Sean, and Skibba. Several of them break away from the pack and seem to be trying to access the armory.
What?
What? Baby Jesus. Wow, these are
What are
not
they?
stupid fucks. Okay.
No, they are not.
Alright, as soon as one is in front of my door, I am going to line up a shot and try to shoot in the head.
Oh yeah. You know, we're not even going to go into an initiative order for the first couple of rounds because until they get a means to get at you guys, it doesn't really matter, does it? So, why doesn't everybody give me a shooting roll at the aforementioned -2? And a notice roll, Firebat, is a trait roll. Well, it's a skill roll that is
Can I get the
used
shooting
to
roll at
observe
-1?
things. Yeah, you're using your 9, yeah.
Latchy's in there with you.
That's fired.
Damn it.
Damn it. I keep
Dang,
doing
guys.
otherwise, but every trait roll. Oh my god.
Yep.
And they're looking
Get you
for
every
a
time.
4 for any success in Savage World. So anytime you see anything greater than a 4 appear in the dice window, that means that they have in fact succeeded at what they were attempting to do. But Bowser, you plug one. Skull cracks, viscera splatters on the horde behind him, and it drops. None of the rest of you were even remotely successful. And I don't, man. Let's not get critical fails on our shooting rolls in here, huh?
Yeah, please
Be a
not.
bad plan.
Oh,
That would definitely be a bad plan.
We can't use bennies on crit fails, right?
I'm afraid you cannot. No.
Okay.
So just don't at all ever for any reason, in fact. Poof.
God, I wish we got to roll these dice.
One down. Let's get some more shooting rolls. There is a creaking noise coming from the armory.
I want to notice to see if I can figure out what's going on.
You are
From where you're at.
in the furthest cell away from the armory, I am afraid. And, I mean, first of all, everybody just lined up a shot. Blah, 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 blah. Cordite, gun
aim.
smoke. You're going to take a turn to aim? All right.
Yeah.
Skip this round of shooting. Damn, Bowser.
But shit, Bowser.
I don't fuck around.
You take out another one, clearly. And, I mean, if this was Deadlands, that would have ricocheted through another one. Shit.
Do I need to concentrate on like holding that door shut though?
No, nobody's trying the door at this point. Nobody's trying this door at this point.
Okay. Alright. Here goes the
Hey, there. Wait,
Bam!
Nope.
Untrained.
Yeah,
I'm,
she
like,
doesn't. She does
literally,
not.
rolling
She
I'm
now.
rolling zeros.
She
and
has
then I need-
literally never fired a gun before IRL. So
Stab them.
No, it's like
Something.
one time at my uncle's ranch, you know?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, that was
So
very
can,
close.
can you line yourself more on the left-hand side?
right. Could you? Yeah, don't crit fail with Skibba in your
She's
lineup.
got one of these going.
Yeah, no.
Maybe, yeah, right, for real. Jesus, it's
Or
loud.
Just hold on to the ammo and we'll shoot. You know.
Yeah.
Save the last
the
thing.
magazine's ready for you, alright?
Yeah, you can be the ammo gal for sure.
Oh my
I'll just
God.
reload your gun whenever.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's get another round of shooting, guys.
Alright, so I aimed. What does that?
That means that you remove 4 points of penalty, so this one should be at a +2.
Okay.
Damn, Bowser.
Jesus.
I mean, it's
There
really
we
good.
go.
There we go, Skibba. Putting that enforcement training to the test.
Hey, woo!
Ooh, Mary hit something.
Very nice.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna aim.
All right.
I am literally doing this right now. This is how I'm doing this.
Hey.
My life is complete.
Notice rolls, everybody. -2.
Okay.
Wunderbar.
Oh, shit.
Except for Sean.
Damn.
Sean, your ears are ringing. It's smoky in there. It's hard to breathe. Acrid.
I don't like it.
It smells like somebody set off a bunch of fireworks.
Oh, fuck.
But,
Death after this.
you guys notice that this gal, the one with the arrow pointed at her, is very much so dead, but she has lifted an arm, right? And everybody on the other side of her has stopped surging forward.
Like she's a commander? What?
Skibba and Sean, give me a notice roll at a -4.
Love these. Oh, sweet.
Wow. Wow. Let's get all these trait rolls or natural ones out the way. So nothing. You guys notice nothing. You know what? Fuck it. Let's give Mary and Bowser an
Please,
opportunity
God,
too.
yes.
-4.
I have alertness.
Notice.
I'm trying to kill everybody every night, Drew, my friend.
Notice at a -4. Is that what
Yep.
it is?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta roll. Hi.
Oof.
We don't know shit.
I'm not wasting a penny on this.
You know
I'm
what?
Sorry.
I am going to be a kind and benevolent God and not allow you to pinpoint the source of the sound. But you hear Step, 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 bam! Step, 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 bam! Like 5 or 6 people were all surging forward towards something with singular purpose in mind, and combining their, bodies to accomplish something. Step, 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 bang! But let's get another shooting roll from, well, at this point, I would say, Bowser, you could probably peg this gal here. And Skiba and Sean, you got clean shots.
Damn it.
What are you doing over there, Mike?
Time aiming.
Woo!
I'm wiping them all out.
You know what? Man, Magic Bullet, yeah. Now that 29, dude, you rolled a 29. You killed 2 of them. I don't know how it happened.
Well, I mean, there's 2 right there.
Yeah, you know what?
Went inside the skull, spun around the side, and hit
Yep,
the other one.
that's exactly what happened. You dropped 2 of them there, Magic Bullet style, from the grassy knoll.
Mike, you better start clearing them out, buddy.
Yeah.
You should have been in this cell with him.
This gal reaches down, picks up one of the bodies, and slings its arms over itself, kind of like it's carrying the thing, and begins to march forward towards the cell containing Kirkman and Savini.
Are they going to get shooting rolls as well?
Kirkman. I suppose. I mean, it would make sense to allow them to participate.
Man, that was the deal in order for him to get out.
Yeah, it's less fun.
Yeah.
No, it's not. There's still 20 of these damn things.
Yeah, he plugs one for sure.
Nice.
And she has
That guy's screaming, man.
That
Gets
one
me
every
every
time.
time.
now pressed the body up against the bars, right? And everybody give me a normal notice roll.
What 2 of my elven eyes?
Not a goddamn thing, but you hear the distinct splintering of bone as it is pressed in between the bars until it's kind of lodged there. Just.
Shoot.
And she is going to pick up another one and proceed to do the same next round.
Like shoving it through the bars?
Into the bars to the point where it is affixed to the door, blocking the line of sight and perhaps the firing line, unless it was physically, somebody would have to get up there and shove the body out.
Yeah.
And it was done, I should say specifically, with an inhuman. I mean, I couldn't do that, Like, again, I lift and carry 500 pounds. I'm like 6.5 feet tall. There's no fucking way I could do that. This is just a little scrap of a lady. But that doesn't bode ill at all. I mean, that's just totally. That's what it be, how it do.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
It's fine.
And give me a notice roll now. Add a -2, everybody, before we get this next round of shooting. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I'm literally good at one thing.
Right? Skiba, Mary, you hear the armory door give way. Boom! Clank! And that coordinated group effort sound you had been hearing has ceased. Alright, we will move a couple more of these guys over. They're still mostly obeying. But that will allow, again, 3 shooting rolls. Mary could move and get one in there as well, but that put her real close to those bars.
Yeah, but I can't just like let them like. I want to show that I can pull my weight.
I'm tired of missing, so I'm gonna line up a shot.
You gonna aim?
I'm gonna aim.
I want to try and get one of them. Sorry, having tech issues. Okay.
Yet.
That is a hit. Why was that at a +2 though?
Because I aimed last round.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Plug.
I just want to point out that I've aced every one of these.
Oh, you have. Yeah, your shooting rolls have been just ludicrous this evening.
Let's keep it
And
up.
I am extremely pissed.
Hey, if we live.
Out of your system.
What the fuck do you always walk into, Drogo? That's the real question.
I'm gonna be aiming again,
Yeah. That didn't come from one of y'all.
Wait, does shooting now?
That's how this old boy's team is going up behind them. That would be
Yeah, there's the automatic part.
Unless they got automatics and then.
They
No,
don't
they
have automatics.
do not have auto.
Did they say that? They said that.
They did.
Well, I don't believe anything Kirkman says anymore, but that's what he said.
It is growing closer.
That's a good thing.
Does it feel like it's coming out of the armory?
Huh?
Does it feel like it's coming out of the armory?
Oh, no. No, definitely. It's coming from the outside corridor.
So that's better than not. Better. Great. Okay.
But why are they screaming? Aren't they dead?
There might have been. This might be a general, oh my god, zombies are attacking soundboard I created.
It's on me. It's me screaming, that's all it is.
This has
There's a
actually
woman
been
out there.
Kirkman the whole time, just like, ah! Like,
Yeah, fucking Kirkman.
he's got a very high falsetto. It is. They are screaming due to the ennui of their existence. Guy with the knife actually has he waited until old girl came up with the second corpse to try and push it into the door, and definitely reaches over and goes and pops her in the skull, and she falls over dead.
Okay. I don't know where that's coming from.
And with that, they seem to kind of mindlessly surge forth again, with the exception of notice roll Mike Skibba.
Come on, Skibbs. Come on.
Big
Yes.
money, big money.
You see 4 individuals leaving, and you'll be damned if they're not wearing body armor.
Holy shit, the zombies. The infected are.
They didn't get guns.
They're getting dressed.
Did they not get guns?
Are they wearing like?
All he sees is just between the people shambling about is 4 figures, black combat gear,
They could have died
leaving
earlier.
rapidly. Huh?
They could have died earlier.
Who could have died earlier?
Oh, well, he was saying, how did they put on armor? And I'm like, I'm saying there was a few that died on the top deck. That could be them as shamblers. I don't know.
That's coming from right outside the door now. In fact, you can hear some of the Ricos as it pegs the inside wall.
Okay.
And da 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 da. Three soldiers sweeping. Undead dropping like flies. Yeah. Anybody want to take one last shooting roll, or they want to let these boys sweep it up with all
I was
their...
taking aim.
All right. Yeah, let's get that last roll.
I don't want to waste my magazine.
Hey, it's the only one I missed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bowser. Disappointment.
I know. I killed 5 of them with 4 shots, so you know. Or something. However that matters.
And oh, whoops.
Like everyone's
Da da da
dead.
da. Turns out that was delete all NPCs, not delete all hostiles. All right. And with that, I'm afraid we can get back to the Danda zombie noise. Yeah, it did totally ruin his percentile. Well, I don't know, because you killed 2 with that one shot, so still aren't you, I mean, that's 100%.
I'm still 5 for 5, but I did technically miss once.
That's true.
It's a weird scoreboard, but I'll take it, you know.
Are these guys sweeping, and they go Savini. Through the gore. They seem very unbefuddled by the mashed up zombie corpse in the door, of course, the bodies. One of the people isn't quite dead, reaches the hand up and gets a quick boot to the back of the head that finishes it off. They are definitely efficacious at what they do. I noticed that Skibbo has already removed himself from the cell. Definitely not locked. 100% not locked.
Oh yeah,
Not locked.
I run across you.
They definitely train their guns on you, Skibba. And Savini says, stand down. And they do.
And I keep my gun at a low ready. Like, not pointed at them.
Yeah, I mean, none of these guys are like, oh, let's just sling it across our back. It's just not centered at your chest right now, right? Low ready would be the standard. Each one of them has the MP5, a sidearm, you know. A couple of them have grenades.
Well, let me get one of those.
And they say...
You know what happened the last time.
What the fuck is going on here?
I don't know, but we need to check this armory.
Colonel Savini says, situation report, where are the rest of you? They say, it's just us, man. You're all that's left? There were fucking 12 of us. What do you mean this is all that's left? We lost contact with the crash boat about a half an hour ago. He comes out the cell and commandeers one of their sidearms, slipping it into the holster on his belt deftly. And he says, it seems like we're all in this shit together.
Agreed.
Indeed.
Now, I don't like the idea. Oh, yeah?
Walk up and give him his Desert Eagle back.
Excellent. Excellent. A sidearm switcheroo. He now has his massive, impractical, and overcompensatory symbol of authority. And he is,
It weighs too much for me to carry around.
Literally. I mean, I would like an 8-pound sidearm, please. Thank you.
That does barely anything.
Oh, no, it does a lot.
No, it
holy
does a
shit,
lot,
it'll
but
fucking.
it's just
You need
it's
to.
just one of those that
You need to take out an engine block? Hell yeah.
well, that, but you know what I mean, like for this situation.
Yeah, it holds 7 rounds.
Yeah.
When are they giving my? He's already got an MP5. He lifted it off the dude.
They could give Skibba one. That'd be nice of them.
Yeah. So the armory.
I don't feel comfortable with an MP5, unfortunately. Sorry.
The armory appears to have the locker set up. 4 of them have been opened, and the combat gear has been removed. And all of the firearms are there. But why don't you, Skibba and Bowser, give me a common knowledge roll?
Because I
Damn,
don't wanna.
really? No,
Shit.
fuck this. You would know. I mean, come on. The firing pin is missing from some of them. Some of them are missing the magazine. Spring's gone. None of the firearms in there are functional. Whoever was in there decommissioned all of them.
Shit.
And they were just handguns, but, you know.
Still, that's brilliant.
Wait, could you
They're the
take
things that could shoot.
Yeah, I
parts
mean,
from one gun to put it to another gun?
Yeah.
I do know how to take apart a Glock. Is
No,
there enough there to?
You could piece together 1 or 2 firearms
Th-
out of the
I'd do
assortment
that.
that's left, yeah.
I do it fairly quickly.
Give me a D4. 3 and up, you get 2. Alright, you managed to piece together 1 extra Glock 9mm, but no additional rounds.
That's no jackalope roll there, Skibba.
Nope.
Wrong session. Wrong. God damn that jackalope heights, though. My god.
That was fucking brilliant.
Holy cow.
That was just, I have no words.
Watch Deadlands on Wednesdays, everyone.
Yeah,
Watch
fuck
all our
off.
shows. But, you know,
Oh.
Deadlands is the flagship. So, Kirkman has been conferring quietly with the soldiers, right? As, you know, he has now elected that, you know, strange bedfellows again. And he says we need to split up and secure as many of the passengers as we can. I say we use the auditorium on the main deck where we first do orientation. We'll get everybody situated there, we'll assess the situation, and we'll go out for supplies after.
I'm not voicing anything at this point. I'm keeping my thoughts to myself.
As long as we move together.
Well, if we split up into 4 groups of 2 people each, we'll be able to cover more of the decks, and we'll be able to secure more of the individuals.
But
And I
we
will be
just
able to
had a-
push this unreasonable narrative demand on everybody for the cost of 1 penny. Oh, 1 penny apiece. Oh.
At least you're being honest.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
No, we agreed that there are points in the show where sometimes they all get kidnapped or something, and nobody is able to do anything about it because it's just, you know, I'm God, and sometimes shit happens, and I work in mysterious ways, but they do get rewarded for it.
I'm gonna go with Murderous Mary Mead.
Hey, what's up?
Actually,
What's up?
ooh, you're not though, because
We're gonna
each
go
one
with
of
one
you
these guys.
is
Yeah.
going to pair off with a paramilitary individual.
Why the fuck would anyone be paired with me?
I feel like these guys are our guards.
Because you earned a penny, of course, Sean. That's why they would.
Alright.
That's why they would.
Is there any more body armor left in this?
Yeah, was there any?
Toot, toot. Yes, there is 1 complete suit of body armor, which on a security ship includes a helmet with a visor, right, and the you know, your standard chest body armor.
I would like to roll off on the chest piece. I don't need that.
I've already got the chest. Wouldn't mind the helmet to go with it.
Step 1 of turning you into a Dalek, Mary. Like,
I know. I'm
somebody.
I just want to be a Dalek.
Well, what do you say we just roll a d4 and whoever gets the highest gets best, and then do it again for the helmet?
Okay.
All right, first off, chess piece. Let's get a roll off.
Oof.
Nope.
Mike Bowser, congratulations. You have stolen
There you go.
body armor from the handicapped woman. I hope when you sleep tonight, it's just the sleep of the angels. Now let's do the same thing for the helmet. Yeah. Skip is in on this one. Let's get a D4 from Mary and Bowser.
Nope.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't want the helmet?
I'm so apathetic with everything right now that
Skibba,
like,
you get the helmet. Congratulations. Now, Mary. I mean, she's pretty much naked at this point, shivering from the cold. Her eyes as large as Bambi's. I mean, it's God.
I offered to go with it.
Yeah, well, I mean...
I wanted to go with Bowser personally.
He totally ninja'd that need roll.
There is an extra person, so perhaps Mary and I could go together with one of these gentlemen.
You know, I'll allow it. Fuck it. I'll let you guys go with Kirkman.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Fuck Kirkman.
It's better than...
And he's going to take your gun again.
I mean, that's true.
No, he'll let you have the gun.
Not. Okay, I was gonna object there.
How did you get the goddamn gun? You know, no.
I shot
Kirkman's,
2 of those motherfuckers.
Kirkman's going to allow it. Yeah, that technically happened. All right, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Mike always leads the way.
Skibba, you're with Savini.
Skibba goes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Alright, let's see what
I'll
happens.
get along with everybody, don't worry.
To Mike Skibba. That's lame. I don't like that one. Oh! You managed to go past a dozen people or so still living, encouraging them all to head to the auditorium en masse. You say there's going to be safety. People are gathering there. There are more dead than, living, of course. And,
Oh, God.
there is a
Meow cries.
open cabin with several of the husks milling outside of it. You hear a shrieking woman and a crying baby from the confines of the cabin.
And the husks, do they see it's coming yet?
They seem fixated on the door. They have just made it through and are currently bursting forth into said cabin.
At least Mike has the homicidal mercenary leader with him.
Yeah, no, it's super creepy, isn't it?
So I look over at Savini and say, let's go take these out.
He is in agreement, and as soon as we add all these fellows to the combat tracker, he
all
will...
of them? That's a bad sign.
What? At 8. Bop, bop. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. We go, and we find Mike Skibba. Drop him in there. And then, where the shit did I put the Savini?
Oh, man. Mike, I don't know if that's the right picture for this game.
I know, right? He's just so like...
So happy.
And
walking
happy.
through the corridor.
All right, Savini says, all right, I'll take left, you take right.
Done.
And we will. My God. Goodbye, Mike Skipper. No, that's not true. You're gonna live
Yeah, we're
forever.
gonna-
You're like pure starlight.
We're pretty far down that.
No, he's not. We're still starting here. Oh my God. And of course, Shambler gets the Joker. It's the only way they can be above initiative step
Bastard.
5, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is if they get the Joker card in the initiative dealing. So, nah, he's down to save people. He's not a bad guy. He's a mercenary, but I mean, you get a baby and a lady crying, you know. When they get a Joker on the initiative step, they sure damn do. All right, so we're going to need a spirit roll, or a strength roll, as it attempts to grapple you.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, no, it had no chance there. And we are on to Skibba. Skibba, things all up in your grill.
See, I want to, instead of just shooting it right offhand, can I knock it to the ground?
Yeah, you
Curb
give
stomp it.
me a fighting roll against it. Yeah. Let's drag this over. Hit. And you hit, because, I mean, how's it gonna parry? It's like, I got noodle arms, you know?
Alright, so how do I go ahead? It's on the ground now.
Yeah, you've knocked it to the ground. If you're gonna shoot it while it's on the ground or stomp it again, I'm gonna need the -2 for the multi-action penalty. Should have done it from the first time, technically, but we'll allow it this time.
Oh man, if that was my action, that's what I'll do first.
Okay, you just want to knock that one down?
Yep.
All right.
And I'll have my gun out and ready.
Savini walks forward, and without even breaking his stride, why that literally doesn't roll over them. That's interesting, but then I can drag it over him. That's fun. And oh, I thought they all had knives. So you have to give me a second here. No, we don't have knives because that makes sense. Yeah, and it's a laser sword. That's my favorite part about Savage Worlds. We're playing a hyper-realistic zombie simulation. Let's open it up. All right, I'm gonna take my molecular knife and yeah. There it is. All right. Bop. So yeah, it's strength plus D4. So why is it not interesting? So what is that? Then I have to look up his strength because he doesn't have a. Oh, good lord, really? Do not get into a fist fight with this dude. That is 10 points. So yes, he stabs that one without breaking stride. Pops it clean in the, the old neck hole. And it dies. He walks up to this one. And stabs at it.
I need to get me another knife.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes sense. Oh, yeah. Solid hit. We'll call it that. Yes. God mode. Lockup. And stabs that one. And is going to continue. Movement. Gotta give me a final fighting roll. Oh my. He's so mighty. Ooh, and just shakes the last one. Not quite enough to put it down. But all without drawing his sidearm. Unfortunately. Bop, bop, bop. This fellow is going to sweep its arm. And the other two in the back are going to break off and head into Lady Room. And he is going to stare, grinning at Savini. Mike, give me a notice roll. As a cop, you are super alarmed because you cannot see one of its hands.
I yell out to Savini, watch his hands.
Hands, hands, hands! This one sweeps into the room. As does this one. This fellow is still shaking like a bitch. The scream in the room becomes a gurgle, but the baby is still crying. Round two. Oh boy, here we go. Hey, nobody important up first except for Savini. Savini is gonna do that same thing.
Oh, look at me all the way down there at the bottom.
Huh? Right?
Standing there watching this guy go to work.
Stab.
You're starting to learn, Mike. Starting to see how it's actually supposed to
Uh-oh. That was the exact opposite. Savini!
Oh, well.
himself.
I'm on my own.
What an odd time to commit suicide.
He just stabs himself in the neck. I can't do it
Well,
anymore, man. Game
Had the upper
over.
hand there.
Game over. Now I've got to move him out of his blood splatter, because, you know, why is she not visible, though? What the shit?
Because he's set to be a bad guy.
There we go. All right. There is absolutely no reason that Corporal Savini would default to bad guy. That is... I don't know what's going on there, audience. I apologize.
You program it.
What? That's ludicrous. At any rate, he definitely killed Living Dead Shambler. He dead. Bop. Bop. And he's gonna call. He doesn't wanna, you know, gonna let you take care of some of the light work there. Oh my goodness. Why did I? Oh, I'm all confused here. But Skipper. Oh, thank you for the follow. Gone Postal. We appreciate it. You rock.
Alright, so you're saying my turn?
Yep. Alright, let me get down to your turn here in the combat tracker. There you go. Now it'll afford you all the powers and righteousness.
I'll run up and once again just put a boot to the chest of...
Yeah, kick this one over.
Yep.
This one is grinning broadly at you.
Do I notice his hands?
You notice one of his hands.
Ah, shit. Alright, but yeah, I'm gonna try to boot to his chest, knock him down.
Alright. You hit.
Alright. Should I have done that with a -2 if I was gonna shoot?
No, you can give me damage on the hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can see its hand now. You booted it square in the chest and it lost balance. And it looks as though someone drove 2 or 3 long shards of a bathroom mirror through the back of the hand, and they are sticking out the palm.
Ouch.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Bitch, what a bitch that though. Oh god.
And, oh, well, fortunately, it, is not a skilled combatant, you know, because that's good, because if it, you know, that wouldn't be great. So I am just going to take a normal unskilled roll here. Yay! With the quickness that you find, disturbing, right, that arm whips up, and one of those shards of mirrored glass is about a half-inch away from your eye as it sweeps across your face.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this one's just eaten. You get the... Everybody's happy with that development, I'm sure. Savini thinks you got that one. You know, and is just going to go on principle in here. And you hear a few gunshots ring out. And he works his way into the room.
Damn.
Oh my god, really? How is this possible? He's ahead of you in the initiative. I mean... What is going on here? Unskilled, fortunately. Ooh, so lucky. Another slash on the backhand. This time he saw it coming and duck out the way. This one's armed, bro. In a manner of speaking.
Then I will ready my gun and shoot it.
Roger that. -2. So -1, because it's a 9 for you.
There it is.
Boom! There was a husk there. Now there's just a red patina gracing the carpeted floor of the hallway.
And then do I need to roll damage?
Yeah, sure you can. I mean, you hit with a raise. I mean, yeah. I guess there is a chance even on a hit with a raise that you wouldn't do enough, but it is very unlikely.
After I shoot them, I'm gonna run into the room with Savini.
You see just in time for him to put a round in the mom's head and turn around, and he is cradling the infant.
Yeah, I mean, I saw her getting eaten or whatever.
Yeah, no, she was torn up pretty good. Yeah, but he has the baby, and it appears unharmed.
I'll take the baby from him.
Hey, good, because he didn't know. I mean, this might be the first time he's ever held one, right? He does a lot of things well.
He's holding it by the foot.
Right, yeah, he's like dangling it, like.
Hey, Savini,
You shake him to put him to sleep, right?
I look for the diaper bag.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good call. Give me a notice roll. You find diaper. Oh, fucking
Hey.
natural
Oh.
one.
You gotta be kidding me.
Man,
Oh.
there's just too much gore in there. You can't make it out. You don't want to be sifting through bodies and shit. God, this fucking trait roll is a natural one. Bullshit.
Every time your
Yeah.
skill roll is a d6, it's hard to watch it.
Right.
Ace,
Right.
ace.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then
It's
you're
just
like,
so
oh yeah.
painful.
So,
Ugh.
nope, you have no supplies to take care of this human baby. Little boy.
God.
Moving on. Let's see what
Just leave
happens to Sean and random security guard. Da, 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 da,
Good luck,
da,
Sean.
da, 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 da.
Remember to kick.
Come
in
on
the head.
down.
You
What?
have done even better than Skiba so far. You've managed to get over 20 people to head to the auditorium. The deck you're on seems less graced by carnage than some of the previous ones, and you have some success going door to door telling people, we gotta gather in the auditorium, there's an emergency, no specifics or anything. You come across a man, and in his arms, he is carrying a young girl. She is pale and feverish,
Oh,
the
no.
beads of perspiration building up on her forehead, and he looks distraught. He said, one of those people bit Daisy. Please, I need help. I need to get her some help. Do you have any bandages? She's bleeding. It's pretty evident that she did take a pretty serious bite on the leg. Please, there's got to be something you could do. You said we could go to the auditorium. Do they have medical care there? I haven't seen her mom in hours. She's the good one at this sort of thing. I'm totally lost right now. What do I do? Do you have any aspirin? I've got to break this fever.
I don't have anything, sir. I'm so sorry.
You said the auditorium, though? We can find help there?
I don't think it's a good idea for your daughter to come with, for you and your daughter to...
What do you mean?
We need to keep her contained. We need to keep her contained. We can't let...
She's really sick right now. I've got to get her some help.
We don't know how she's
Well, that's exactly, you don't know what's going on. Are you trying to prevent my daughter from getting care?
No.
What's wrong with you?
I'm gonna go try and find someone and bring her to you. I promise, I will bring someone.
We're gonna go to the auditorium. Certainly, if people are gathering there. Well, you can't stop me from going to the auditorium. And the paramilitary guy kind of like, he starts to ready his gun. He clearly, as an NPC, is going to rely on Sean's moral judgment in this situation. Are you going to tell this guy to murk old boy? You going to pull a Mary here? Shoot him? Alright, what we have here is, all this guy understands right now is that his darling daughter Daisy got bit by a crazy person and is now sick. How are you going to explain to this father that his daughter can't seek the most ready and available medical care without revealing to him, or straight up revealing to him, that she's already dead?
She could be immune too.
Fever, pale.
I don't.
Immune would be like, damn, this bite hurts. Not like, wow, I have 106-degree fever and my eyes are lolling back in my head.
Okay,
you know?
Okay. Fuck. I'm gonna tell this, I'm gonna assume, or at least like I've introduced myself to the security guy.
He pointed to the tag. It says Johnson.
What's his name? Johnson. Okay. Johnson knows where the infirmary is, and he's gonna take your little girl to the infirmary.
Ma'am, with all due respect, that's not within the mission parameters.
Damn it. Can I give him a look that says kill her kind of thing? I will take the dad. I'm not gonna kill this girl. So I'm gonna take the dad.
I'll just let someone else do my dirty work.
Wait a minute. So you want this soldier to be like, yeah, don't worry, your daughter's safe with me. Walk around the corner and old yeller her? Is that your fucking solution right now?
I'm not gonna do it. I can't let the little girl go into the auditorium. I know that she's obviously sick. So I can't.
So justify it, or this guy's taking her to the auditorium. I mean, you've got to find. There's no right answer here, Sean. This situation is constructed to be just a terrible ethical dilemma. There's
Yeah,
no right answer.
and
You gotta pick
chose it
one.
just for me. So,
I literally, I didn't even roll this one. I said, oh, fucking Sean's getting this one. Yeah, no, 100%, yeah. Yeah.
Dirty.
Mister, your daughter needs care, and there's the infirmaries downstairs. Is it downstairs or?
The only infirmary that you have personally visited
Mhm.
is filled with fucking undead people. I mean, it was a charnel
Dad
house.
doesn't know that.
Oh, so you're like, yeah, just take her to that
I
place
don't-
where I know you'll both be killed. That's your solution? It's fine.
No, I don't.
It's fine as a solution. You can be like, there's an infirmary 2 decks up, take the elevator, walk over the mountain of corpses, follow the groaning. Right? That's fine.
Don't pay attention. Just keep going.
Is that your solution? You're going to persuade him to go upstairs to the infected infirmary?
I'm
Jack?
so sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, we're definitely not going to encounter these two later turns, so it's not like Flappy Arms Part 2. No, it's fine. Just give me a persuasion roll. That's pretty good advice. Take him to the infirmary. He doesn't know any better. I mean, you are sentencing him to death, but...
He's gonna die anyway.
Well, either way, his daughter's gonna turn and he's gonna die anyway because he won't let her go. God damn, it doesn't even work, so what does it matter?
Fate was a natural one! God damn! So...
I'm not very persuasive, it's fine. I'm used to this.
He says, we'll check it out on our way to the auditorium, and shoves past.
I'm gonna give the Johnson a look. Kind of, can I gauge what's the look on his face? Like, does he look annoyed or just kind of frustrated or?
He shrugs me. I mean, he shoots the guy here, he shoots the guy there. It doesn't really matter to him either way. Yeah. No, you were the one that drove that decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Johnson I really don't think it's a good idea for him to be taking the little girl into a crowd of not infected people.
With all due respect, I give him about a 10% chance of making it to the auditorium. He was completely out of sorts. He's responding emotionally to the situation. He mentioned a spouse who's likely dead. He's not a survivor, ma'am.
Alright.
Moving on.
You know why Will didn't give that one to me, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Wow!
way to go, Sean. You just killed the entire...
Both me and Mike would do that.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
I'll be like, you take the dad.
You take the dad, I got the little girl.
Well, that's why I was giving this,
Because I wanted you to go to sleep tonight. Like, goddamn, did I kill everyone? That's exactly what I was hoping for. So.
I already lose sleep over Flappy Arms, and now this, like. Oh man.
All right, Mike, Mary.
Yeah, what's up?
You've been relatively successful. 15 to 20 people in your first little sweep here, right? People going to the auditorium. This deck is about what you would come to expect. A charnel house, you know, signs of previous carnage here and there. Bits of bodies in states of consumption, if you will. When you come around a corner and you see a man with another guy pinned up against the wall, pistol pointed at his face. And he says, I'm sorry, man, I've fucking seen it. I've seen it, man, I'm fucking sorry, I have to do it. Give me notice rolls.
Okay. Four, just barely.
This has got to be a record for trait rolls of natural 1 tonight. I am
think
just...
so.
It is phenomenal. So Mary... the guy pinned against the wall has a cut on his hand.
What is it? So it's a cut?
Yeah, he's gashed open.
I'm gonna look at Mike and Kirkman and say, do we have an area for them might be infected?
I mean, we would have to take them and sort them at the auditorium in an as-is basis.
But wouldn't that endanger the lives of everyone else?
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware there was a option that didn't endanger anybody's lives at this point. I mean,
I'm just
all
thinking
options
about...
endanger lives. I mean, that we...
Yeah, but having a guy turn in the crowd of people versus putting him in a room
All
right
I know
now.
for sure is that having guys turn in isolated pockets across the entire depth and breadth of the ship hasn't exactly been working out. At least in that situation,
Well,
we can have people cordoned off. We have several armed people there, right? We could maintain a measure of control. We can certainly separate the injured out into their own isolated pocket. If it comes to that, we can exclude people. Right now isn't the time to be making these assessment calls, though. Right now is the time to be keeping this guy from killing this other guy until we can determine what's been going on.
I'm just gonna give a look at Mike.
I'm just gonna shake my head. My gun is out. If anything goes down, I will.
You hear the guy
call
say,
in.
"I wasn't bitten, you son of a bitch! I cut myself on a mirror!"
What about the other guy?
That mirror piece went.
Right? The other guy's just in a panicked, frenzied state. He doesn't seem injured at all, but he's clearly seen somebody bitten and turn at this point.
I'm gonna say...
Shoot him.
I do, but I don't want my gun taken away. So
You just want to shoot them both?
That decision.
Yeah.
No. Because I'm smart now, and I, play the game, as it were. So, I'm gonna say, sir, I understand you're scared. We can figure this out.
You don't understand shit, lady. Give me a persuasion roll to -2.
Okay.
He is unconvinced and, does the cinematic pulling of the hammer back, even though that is,
Well, I'm gonna let Kirkman do this. I'm not...
Can we get the hammer? It's probably going to reload a shotgun here, but... Oh, there we go, yeah!
Kirkman's gonna do something. He has to do it, because I'm not...
Kirkman has relegated himself to the role of background NPC for the moral equivalency test. That is, each one of these challenges that you should have taken individually, but I allowed you to pair up on. So.
Well, hey, buddy, if he just cut his arm, you can't exactly shoot him right out here in the hallway. We need everybody.
And besides, you could shoot yourself accidentally.
That is a terrible... I mean... Don't shoot this guy because you might accidentally shoot yourself is maybe the worst argument I've ever heard. But you can give me a persuasion at a -2, Bowser.
But I'm so good at persuasion.
I know. You are the most persuasive guy.
Just don't give a shit. That's the problem.
There we go.
To say, well, now...
Yeah, guy slides down the wall, very dead. The guy turns his gun on you guys shakily, and then runs down the hallway.
Where the fuck did he get a gun?
Right.
Probably from a dead security guy. You know, there's tons of them.
But...
It was a standard 9, you know. But... One more thing.
We gotta track that guy down.
You guys are the most successful. You managed to find a pocket of 40 people that had huddled together in a cafeteria, right, and have gotten them to the auditorium. There is a woman amongst them that, she's in her early 40s, brown hair, kind of graying, a little bit wild-eyed, and she says, "Certainly, you've been sent from the Lord God." Save us from this hour of our iniquity and suffering. My name is Miss Harton, and I thank you as his avenging angel. Give me notice rolls.
Okay.
True facts, true. Mary,
Yeah.
there are a lot of those people with her that are nodding along. You guys make your way towards the auditorium, and she says, "Surely this is the end of times. This is the wrath of the Lord God made manifest upon all of us. And lo, look upon, the wages of sin are death. I see nothing but death here. The Lord has delivered us in our righteousness, and I commend all of you for your noble spirits in this endeavor." As you guys make your way to the auditorium, and we take
Um.
a 5-minute break. We're about midway through this thing. This is a fantastic transition to this next session that's not going to get weird at all. You know, if you get hundreds of people panicked and piled together in a space, then nothing bad
The
has
worst
ever
fucking thing.
transpired.
The worst.
So, thank you so far for sticking with us. If you like what you have seen so far, please follow the channel. We appreciate it so much. Every little bit of it is instrumental in our continued and furthering success. There are a lot of things you could be watching tonight, and you've decided to stick with us, and god damn it, we appreciate it. So we will be right back. Please enjoy our lovely intermission music and the tension it brings. And we are back. Thank you for sticking with us through that intermission and commercial break. We only run one of those a show, and if you're a subscriber, you don't got to watch it at all. I don't know what Twitch does on its end, but we are only responsible for 60 seconds of commercial break during our intermission time, so that does not interrupt the stream. With that, I mean, the channel earns like 4 cents every time we do it, right? So it's essential that it happens.
Ka-ching.
I mean, if I didn't get that 4 cents, I wouldn't be able to sleep on my mattress of gold tonight. But if you like the channel and you pour, which is often the case, right? You can just tell people about us. You can hit that follow button. There's lots of ways to support this endeavor, and not all of them are financial in nature. But we find everybody now gathered in the auditorium. There are about 300 survivors in total, crammed into this auditorium space. There are several people that are injured, of course, through the course of the evening's event, but nobody that seems obviously bitten, as word has gotten out. 2 medical staff number amongst the 300 survivors and have quarantined a bunch of individuals up on the stage area of the auditorium. Let me get this auditorium map up for you guys here. Not that we're, going to engage in anything that would resemble a combat scenario within its confines, so... I mean, certainly not with 300 plus... I mean, God, could you imagine? The horror.
Real horde right there.
Proper horde.
Standard auditorium situation. 3 exits. The sickly individuals are relegated to behind a curtain on the stage in an area there that has become a makeshift infirmary, and they number in the dozens. Broken bones, right? Lacerations, contusions, a couple of unconscious individuals, head trauma, It runs the assortment of things that you think you would. Yeah, there's one guy that it looks like somebody just kicked into a fucking pile of potatoes. Just, I mean, his head doesn't even look like a person anymore. His eyes are both swollen shut and his tongue lolls out a little. His lips are just a swollen, bruised mass of... For some reason, the words Sean McCree are imprinted all over. I didn't realize you were wearing your custom steel-tip docks, but yeah.
They're actually Converse, excuse me.
Yeah, somebody put steel-tip Converse. Jesus Christ. That might be the most hipster thing I've ever fucking heard. That's on a whole nother level.
Literally. Oh my god. I can't.
But Kirkman stands up on the stage, flanked by Colonel Savini and his 3 gentlemen. And although the microphones don't work, he manages to get people kind of... Generally, shouldn't be tinnitus there. Okay, we're just gonna forget that one. No tinnitus. Ahem, tinnitus, you can go away. Tinnitus? There we go. Excellent. No, there's still tinnitus. God, alright, you know what we're gonna do. Take that, tinnitus. Excellent. This isn't an alarming event. This is just a normal conversation. I don't know why that would be programmed with the concerned crowd. It's not like at any point the situation would turn to the point where you would need some kind of creepy, backdrop underlying the conversation. But at any rate, we're losing focus here. And there is an assembled throng of people gathered in front of Kirkman. And he says, people, I need your attention. People, please, what I'm about to say is a matter of life and death for all of us. Right? And that seems to get people... Still some murmuring, but it is, quiet consternation. And he waits for everybody to quiet down and continues, and he says, I'm not going to lie to you. We're in some deep shit here. I don't know why, and I don't know how, but there are things loose on this ship that should be dead that aren't. They're alive, or something, and attacking anyone who's actually living. And, well, if we thought the consternation level was going to stay, quiet at that. It definitely gets back up. A voice from the crowd says, "No kidding. Now how about you tell us something we don't know?"
Is it
And,
the religious lady?
oh, it is. Yeah. Now, it is Miss Harton. And she rises from her position in the front row and stands and points at Kirkman. And she says, "Don't you stand there and pretend ignorance. You know why this is happening. We all know why this is happening." And she turns
Ma'am?
around to face the... Oh, no, there's no ma'am about it at this point.
I just didn't know where we were positioned to know.
Let's get you
Like,
guys
are
on
we
the
with
map.
our group
Bop,
or
bop, bop, bop. She's like right here, standing up on her seat, turned to address the crowd after having pointed at Kirkman, who is in the center of the stage, of course, giving his conversation. "We all know why this is happening. It's because we have ignored him for too long." And somebody in the crowd goes, Who we been ignoring?" And she points upward. She says, "We have betrayed him, and we have laughed at him, and now we're being made to pay the price."
here we go.
"Ignored who, lady?" "The Lord our God," she responds. And, a little spittle comes from her mouth. And Kirkman says, Whoa, now, ma'am, please, just take your seat and let me continue." She spins around and she says, "You'll see. You'll all see in the end. The rapture is upon us, and you will be found unworthy." And she sits down. Be that as it may, those things aren't the only problem anymore. Yeah, they're a serious problem, and they rate real highly, but the ship's dead in the water right now, people. We've no power, we've no navigation, and worst of all, no communications. And with that, what do you mean? An explosion took out the bridge, and until another vessel comes along, we're effectively on our own. Where everybody starts talking to each other at once, right? It's clear that people are, this is news to a lot of folks, right? Some folks were not near enough to the bridge to have heard the explosion, were completely unaware of the scenario. Some of these people hadn't even seen one of the dead folk yet, right? They were just rounded up as part of a routine safety thing. It takes him several minutes. Please, this doesn't help at all, people. I understand you're scared. I'm scared. We are all scared. But we need to maintain a rational composure if any of us are going to get through this. And that seems to sway some of the people, right? They get a little, Now, it could take a few hours or a few days for someone to discover us. I don't know. I do know at the latest, someone will get worried when we do not dock in the Bahamas. Right? That is in 2 days' time we are expected there. So at the very latest, we can anticipate 48 hours until somebody sends a ship out to look for us. We're in the middle of a busy traffic lane, right? We could track all kinds of traffic coming through here. We could flag somebody down. So we need to plan for supplies and resources for a 2-day period for the amount of people we currently have in the ship. Right here. These are the people that we know have survived. "My husband's out there," some lady shouts, and I understand that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say, dude, that's not how you do this.
And how would you do it, ma'am?
I would try and make them feel comfortable, not just say everyone's scared. That's not how you deal with masses of people.
So you want me to lie to everybody here?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, dude. The fuck?
That is what starts anarchy. I've led enough things and I've talked to enough people.
Not on this
Big
ship,
groups.
Drew.
I've been a speaker. I've gone.
Well,
I've done a lot.
Why don't you go up there and do some speaking then? Well, I figure out how I'm gonna save everybody. And he waves you up to the stage. This lady has something to say, everybody. And he goes to talk to Savini. Everybody who isn't Mary about to give a speech to a panicked group of people, give me a notice roll.
Come on, guys, please. I don't want to get nommed on.
Yes.
Come on. Jeez.
At least two of you guys saw, man.
Mike's. Savini puts two fingers up to his ear, looks at his other guys, nods at them, and they nod back. Mary?
Did I not still have that radio that I picked up from the first dead guy?
You did. You do, in fact, have a radio, yeah. Nothing came through on it.
Awesome.
Mary, you are now in a social conflict
Yes!
with an angry mob
Okay.
of people that will likely turn against you
Yeah, I know.
should you find yourself failing. In addition, due to the general tenor and panic, and again, I hate to emphasize this point, the fact that you are a random woman in a wheelchair who is not generally perceived by, people as able-bodied, regardless of the truth. These persuasion rolls will happen at a -2.
All of them, no matter the argument?
Well, base -2. Now, the tenor and quality of your argument, as always with social conflict, will modulate success and failure. So what I'm going to need from you here, right, is a very compelling argument to a group of about 300 people that have been worked up into a fervor. Are people gambling? Did I just hear, like, poker chips?
Oh, that was my dog.
Oh, okay.
It was her collar, yeah.
I was like, what the
Yeah,
fuck is going on with my soundboard?
There's some super chill people in the corner shooting craps.
Yep. Like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Mary, round one. And why should we listen to you? I don't see a badge on her. She's not in a uniform. Hell, she ain't even standing upright. Who gave this lady any authority?
She doesn't even go here.
She's not even from the school.
Well, I honestly... I met with the security guard, and he's trusted me. He's
The guy
allowed
that
me
just
to help
spoke?
protect. Yes.
Oh, great. Now that's proper reassuring, lady.
But I want to say one more thing. This is a tough situation, no matter what. This is a situation that no one wants to be a part of. This isn't ideal at all, but like any other time, that means we need to band together as a group. Because we can weather this. We can get through this. We have to work together. I know it's scary. I've been scared too. I've seen it. But we have to remember that the stronger we are together, just uniting, we can get through this.
A guy
No.
stands up from the crowd. To your point, in the initial round here, has been about strength through unity.
Yes.
He stands up and says, of course she says we should band together. What the hell's she gonna do on her own? She needs us more than we need her. Why would you listen to that kind of nonsense? We gotta get the strongest of us together and survival of the fittest. We all know this lady ain't making it off this boat. Let's not be stupid right now. What kind of
how many
PC
zombies
bullshit
did
is
you
this?
kill?
Well, first of all, ma'am, they're not zombies. They are just
Oh, sorry. How
sickly
many
individuals.
infected? How many infected have you killed?
Oh, now you're bragging about being a murderer?
I'm saying that I may not look like I have the ability, but you're judging a book by its cover. And besides, we don't need only the strong and fit. I mean, how many dumb jocks do you know of? We need a team of organized people. We need a brains who can come up with a plan. We need the brawn who can help execute the plan.
Oh, and I
Now we need.
suppose your Professor X here is what we're supposed to believe then.
Well, I've had that nickname before.
I'm gonna give Mike a nod, like, look at this fucking fool.
Now, any of you at any point can interject on Mary's behalf, but mind you that your persuasion roll can help or hinder her. Should you roll poorly, you automatically contribute to her failure, and should you critically fail, well then, I mean, you're both, angry mob. But yeah, how many rounds you got? I hope it's 300.
I got about a third of that.
I'm a big guy in armor holding a baby. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, you still got that baby.
I forgot. Dude, give that baby to somebody.
What the fuck are you doing?
I haven't had the chance yet.
You can't
actually.
keep
I was
that,
going to
Mike.
find the group of parents.
Yeah, you go, guys.
There has got to be a group of children and parents together
Buffer.
that I was going.
Stick it in. No, sorry.
Mike, give that baby to someone, you freak. What are you doing?
I think both sides there, honestly, I think he had a compelling argument that preyed on the weakness of people. You had a compelling argument that preyed on strength through unity. I'm going to get that persuasion roll just as is at the -2.
Okay.
And if she doesn't win, I'm going to shoot this guy.
Yeah, oh, that'll calm everybody down. Good. Excellent.
Yeah.
No, the wholesale
really
murder.
That'll
Murder of
persuade them for
dissenters
sure.
always works. That's.
Can I roll intimidation after I shoot this guy?
You can roll intimidation before you shoot the guy, but is that really the tact we want to be leaning into here? Like,
Hey, speak for yourself.
all right, Mary.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
Hot damn. It turns out that there is more good than bad in people. And somebody says, Clyde, sit down. Let the woman speak. All right. Round 2. All right, so we have already established our strength through unity tact, which means I am going to need a separate and distinct or tied into first argument. Round 2.
We have to work together. I know that each one of you possess something special, something that can help the rest. You in yourself are worth fighting for. You are special. Look, let's look at the millennia of humans. We've survived Pompeii. We've survived World War II. This is another thing that is going to be an amazing story in history.
That's true, Drew.
We can do this. We have to stay strong. We have to use that spark that is inside of us to work together. What unites us all is we're all humans.
And I suppose your suggestion is that we all just hold hands, somebody busts out a folk guitar, and we start kumbaya on our way through this situation, lady?
No.
I mean, we need people of action. I'm all for getting together and holding hands and all this unity and brightness and all that, but frankly, that's not going to put food in these people's mouths. That's not going to arm ourselves against whatever the fuck this is, right? And it's not going to be helpful in this situation. We need more than platitudes. We need plans. All of
what
that's a
we
bunch of
do.
feel-good bullshit that doesn't amount to a lick of action. We need action, and I don't think you're the kind of person that can be taking action in this situation.
Well, I would like to say this. While it makes us feel good, it also helps us understand how to make that happen. And I agree, action is necessary. In fact, that's the only way we're going to get through this. We are going to form teams of people. The able-bodied can come and help us work with the other security officers, and we can go and locate the food. We'll have different teams. that go together. And this means any man or woman that feel as though they can handle this. We are not limiting this to sex. If you have fight in you and you feel like you can hold yourself, then you are more than welcome to that. We all will also have committees that are trying to help once we are able to locate supplies with our other party to help make those supplies more, to help make sure that people are getting fed. We need to make sure that kids are being watched.
She sure is getting rambly up there, isn't it? I think we need a more definitive focal point.
I would like to walk up to her, or behind her. I guess we're in the middle of the stage at this point. Sir, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm going to let you know right now I have been with this woman for the past day and a half since this began.
I have known her for 28 hours, and I can tell you she is... Yeah, no, that's a good argument.
No.
Give me a persuasion roll to -2, Skibba.
Well, I ain't even started. I ain't finished.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, go ahead. Let's see the strength of this. All right,
exactly.
You've known her for 28 hours.
28 hours. Since this whole thing began, she has shown strength of character, strength of spirit. She has earned the trust of our head of security, who has allowed her to speak to you. She has brought so many of you here to this auditorium. We have gone out, we have rescued half this auditorium. She didn't? So
pretty sure she
has with help saved almost half this room in here.
Alright, I'll let you give a straight persuasion roll on that. I am, in fact, a kind of benevolent
Son of a
god.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is why nobody helps.
Well, that was the show, folks. They tear Mary limb from limb. It's a horrific display. No, you have lost.
It's hard to do it, with a screaming child. I'm
right.
Just saying.
The baby's in your arms, and people are like, wait a minute, we're listening to Kindergarten Cop here. Yeah. You're all in body armor, just crating this baby and swaddling. I've known this woman for nearly 30 hours, and I can tell you, no, it wasn't the most convincing image. Mary, you have one final chance to turn the audience to your favor. And this time, the combatant is Miss Harton.
Sorry, Mary.
Well, before that, I just want to step behind Mary and just kind of, to show that,
show solidarity? Give me a persuasion roll.
Oh, I thought I could be, a silent, not... Oh, man. Oh, good, okay.
Hey, look at that. You don't have the Joker bonus, but you have a 4.
Yeah.
So this next persuasion roll, Mary, will just be made at a -1 base, depending on the strength of your argument. But it should be said that Miss Harton is a skilled orator.
Yeah.
Hey, Skibba, do you want me to take the baby from you?
Please.
Yeah, I'll take the tyke.
And I will go kind of stand closer to where the mercenaries are, too. In between.
The Lord our God is listening, and he has already displayed his will. Look, she has already been struck down for her lack of righteousness. Do you think the Lord would inflict such a condition on a woman of pure spirit?
Oh, shit.
Honestly, sir.
And she went there.
Ma'am! I will have you know it is ma'am! I am a strong Christian woman.
I'm looking at the DM. I'm sorry. Okay, ma'am.
What, I don't pass? Damn.
I'm so sorry. You got clocked.
Wow.
Okay. Ma'am, the Bible that I read and grew up on said that God set out challenges for us, things that we had to overcome. Each one of us has a bump in the road that we had to prove our strength and to prove our belief in Him to get through it. I myself, you can see it physically on me. I use a wheelchair, and that's okay. That's my battle. That is something I have to go through. But from what I know about God, is that He is big and wondrous, and we do not have the slightest idea of what He's planning or thinking. It's presumptuous to judge that something so great, something that is so loving, that preached love with every moment of Him in every single religion. He loves us.
Unfortunately,
He wants to forgive us.
Miss Harton is reading a very Southern, very Baptist interpretation of this very same
Thinks
book.
The world's like 10,000 days old, right?
So,
10,000 years.
oh yeah, no, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
6,000 years old.
Yeah, no, it's 6,000 years old. I mean, she has
Some
gone
God
to
was
the
small
Ark
bird.
theme park every summer since it's opened. I mean, she spent some of her time at a Protestant church where they handled snakes, right? She is not one of these, God is love Christians, right? She is one of these, God has made you suffer because you were worthy of suffering. And God is making us all suffer because we are all worthy of suffering. Look at the inequity. This cruise was a den of sin. People fornicating and lying and taking His name for vain. I saw it with my own 2 eyes the very second I was on a board. These idols, points to the theater decor, right? Which is just like sconces and shit, but, of course she's worked up into a religious further here. And she says, but what you say about sacrifice is true, child. There will be sacrifice yet to come. And it is these sacrifices that will set us free. We will find those amongst us that are worthy of this honor. And together, we will rid this ship of the iniquity that holds it back. Starting with people like her. And, sweeps up to Mary there. Straight up -1. There's a lot of people that are agreeing with this wacky religious shit.
Orate.
You want to counter orate?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Ma'am, I understand where you're coming from. I understand the feeling that God is punishing for things. I felt that. I felt that feeling, like, why this? Why this?
Just like Abraham was asked to give a sacrifice to the Lord our God, we will all be asked to give sacrifices to the Lord our God. Are you ready, child?
One different.
Are you ready?
Read a little bit further. Never mind.
No, we're not going to go into what happens there. It's the Abraham bit there. Yeah, maybe hide the baby for sure.
Yeah. Hide the baby.
Ma'am, what I remember about going to church, I'm a Catholic.
Oh, so a heathen. She's a heathen in addition.
I'm not a heathen. I love God. I love...
You worship Mary, a human who is not the Lord our God.
I would love to have a solid conversation with you where we can just...
Yo, this is not solid. Let's sit down, have a coffee talk.
I'm
like
trying.
She is not that. I mean, you're like trying to have like a theological debate with a crazy woman.
I'm not.
She has already leaped to Abrahamic sacrifices, right? I am not sure.
And I understand. I'm just using it as a transition. So.
Exactly, Drew.
But really, God loves us. He sacrificed His only Son to relieve us of our sins. Now, that kind of God that I feel every day, it says you are forgiven. You will be forgiven. We have to unite as a group. We have to come together and get through this because, this is a challenge. This is one more challenge. And for those that are religious, this is one more thing where we prove
If you
that we
follow
are
this
worthy
heathen's
beings.
interpretation of the holy book, the Lord will turn you all into pillars of salt. This is a new Gomorrah. And if you reason with the devil, you will get your just due.
Well, speaking outside of religion, I believe that we all have a duty
I'm not
to
sure Miss Harton
survive.
speaks outside of religion. You're barking up the
We
wrong
all-
tree. I mean, the only thing
Well,
she
I-
took
Tell
with
us-
you
she's speaking
was her
to the
Bible.
other
you
people in
know?
the
I'm
room.
speaking to the other.
Oh, okay, good.
Look, we decide our fate. We have free will. God gave it to us, or, but that's what makes us human. That's what makes us fight. We have to keep fighting because look at this kid. It needs a future. We
That'll
can make
definitely
that
change the room,
happen.
Mike.
I want to hold it out like Simba.
Oh, yeah? Hey, you wanna go, yeah. Hey, you wanna. Somebody wanna break open a guava? We could really get the whole thing going here. Alright. I will give you a flat persuasion roll.
Okay. I'm scared.
Big money, big money, big money.
It's
Nailed
the
it.
circle of life. Yeah, no, the crazy religious woman manages to maintain her little thrall, but doesn't seem to take control of the rest of the room. And you have managed to cause people to capitulate enough for Kirkman to reassert Kirkmanness. And he walks up with Savini, and he says, I'm going to have all of us maintain a position here, cordoned off in the auditorium. This is Colonel Savini. He is part of our standard security team. Normally you would never see him or his men, but they are just a normal precaution post 9/11, and they are just, it's part of the standard operating
Totally.
procedure. He and I will lead teams through the ship to make sure we didn't miss anybody and get enough bedding and food supplies to last us for the next couple of days. I am currently reluctant to make an attempt on the lifeboats with so many of those things loose on the ship. The crafts take time to launch, especially without power, and I am not sure that we will make it before we are overwhelmed. So if you all please just bear with me, that would be fantastic. Now, if anybody has any special needs, medical requirements, let us know before we head out. Talk to the medical staff. In the meantime, I need everybody to remain calm. We're safe in here as long as we think instead of act. We will make it until rescue comes. Thank you for your cooperation. I appreciate it. And he gestures to you guys. Come on.
I walk over. I follow.
Yeah. Shuffle.
That notice is to see if the mercenaries are part of the standard crew or not.
No, he was lying out his ass just to reassure people.
Well,
The idea of like, oh yeah, and these paramilitary guys just showed up, right? That's not gonna calm
Right.
people down, right? Like, no, that was a line of
Everything's
bullshit
fine.
just for the normies, right? They yeah, thank God for random chance indeed. It's better than random. I mean, the persuasion was better than random, but yeah, no, that could have gone real bad.
Yeah.
That could have gone real. I mean, a
I
critical
know.
failure in that situation means that they're literally like opening fire to like, It's a
I'm
bad scene.
sorry.
I know it was a chance, but
Right.
I'm like, I gotta try. I've got a healthy
You
thing. So.
didn't God. I mean, he almost had it under control. What you did was like, yeah, let's flip a coin in here, you know. But that's fine. The coin came up heads. Everybody's alive.
I would have shot her before she started her theocracy anyway.
Oh yikes, bro!
It'd be fine.
I am just going to out of character warn you that if you are going to shoot Mrs. Harden, you want to do it away from people. This is not something that you want to do in sight of her flock, or really anybody. You don't want to be executing anybody, but especially not in front of the people that she's already managed. I mean, there are people praying around her, you know. She started to, you know, in any of these situations, people are looking for hope, right? And these people, they offer that really easy, oh, don't worry, all you got to do is think about it, and everything will, you know. And of course, that's going to, you know, there are no atheists in foxholes. I don't know about that. I nearly died a couple of times, and I never had any religious epiphanies. But, you know, the saying goes, when you're down and out, fucking Vishnu, Allah, Buddha, all of them, come on. You know, roll the dice, right? So, it does have a certain appeal. The men sweep out into the hallway, and they say clear, and Kirkman ushers you out. Colonel Savini says, thank you for covering for me and my men. That would have been a huge scene otherwise. And he says, just don't fuck us. If you betray us, I swear to God, I will see you fed to one of them piece by piece, and I'll do the cutting. And he says, agreed, man.
To you.
Agreed. Well, that was Kirkman to Savini. That was him.
Oh, I thought we were following.
You are. You're all behind
Sorry,
them there. Yeah, no. But he says, we're going to go on supply runs later. The first thing we're doing is we're going to the penthouse. We need answers.
I'm giving a smile, like.
I think it's time that we had a conversation with one Mr. Forsyth.
You might want to leave me here if you want a conversation.
Well, you know, he's using the conversation in that loose, like,
Conversation.
Yeah, we're going to have a conversation.
By the way, I let Sean know what happened with the mother of that child, so she...
Yeah.
It's like, what should we do with this baby?
Dude,
swing
go
its
get
head.
someone in there.
Swing its head into the wall really hard.
There's got to be
someone who looks.
There's going to be parents. The's going to be children.
I'm just saying.
Just find that group. They will be together.
It sounds like an excellent noisemaker, is all I'm saying. You just chuck that thing into a wall and run in the other direction, right?
I'm not chucking it.
No? You could put it out of its misery, right? Just grab both its ankles, just give it one good swing, that'd do it.
Anyone else getting like a video game flashback of some sort of baby grenade that you just throw it and it attracts all of
Yeah.
Am I the only sick one that has that or not?
Yeah, except for this one doesn't blow up. Well, I mean, if you pull on it hard enough, I guess in a way it kind of blows up.
Oh,
but...
God. I didn't go there. I just meant, like...
What are you doing with this baby? Are you carrying this baby into the potential firefight situation that's happening here?
I'm taking the baby.
Want to. I don't.
Let me have the baby. Okay. I am going to go find the group of parents / children that are all going to be huddled up together.
Yeah. There's a lady that seems receptive. She says, "I'll look after it for a while." What's its name?
We don't know. The mother died.
Oh no, that's terrible. That's just awful. What's the world coming to?
Let's name her Hope.
I like that, she says.
Boy.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
Hey, boys can be named Hope. The fuck's wrong with you? Stop misgendering names. Why, in Indiana Jones, the gal's name was Willie. What are you trying to say, huh? It was Wilhelmina, I think, but yeah. Yeah, no, Hope. Hope is fine. Hope can be a boy's. I mean, you know. I think it's thematically appropriate. So, the baby's name that you now have somehow find yourselves responsible for. Isn't that going to be fun in the zombie apocalypse? He's named Hope.
Of course.
Little baby Hope.
They...
Watch, Skibba lives 5 years and you got like a 5-year-old kid. I know. He'll be totally well adjusted. All right.
Like, we could train him, raise him to be a badass. Like.
You
But,
see
yeah,
little
noisemaker.
Judy
Little ass kicker.
and Judy.
On
Little
the
ass
way
kicker.
to the penthouse, it's on the top deck in the very back of the ship, which means from the auditorium you have to travel up 2 decks and nearly the entire length of the ship. You encounter a few isolated pockets of infected, but between you and Kirkman and the security team, you make very quick work of them in your encounters, and it is, I would say, uneventful.
Good.
So, you find yourselves outside the penthouse doors. Which is a totally normal
We
place to find
kick him
yourself.
open.
Oh, you kick.
Ooh,
Sean, are you
baby.
leading the way with your concussion
Yeah.
kicks?
Kicks
Yeah,
of
like-
fire. Fire
just-
power.
Alright, motherfucker. Sure, we try the lock. Is it locked? The door, is it locked or?
It is locked, yeah.
Of course it is, right? Okay.
Yeah, he's
Someone
just
can
gonna have
lock-
his door unlocked. I mean,
Does it feel like it's like? Is there like a bolt on it, or like does it feel like
Yeah.
it's just the handles that's locked?
you would have to knock the handle off, and Savini says we don't have time for this. Takes out his 50 and says, "Cover your ears."
I
Yeah, punches
Absolutely covered.
punches a hole. I mean, that door handle comes off. There's a hole like this through the door, and it swings open.
Is there any movement or anything in there?
It
we can see?
is dark. There are a few flickering candles, but no lighting because, you know, the ship power is out.
And is Kirkman with us? Too?
I suppose
Or-
Kirkman's with you. Savini's definitely with you.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
but still.
What about Savini's team?
Savini's team is not with you.
Shucks.
In fact, no, I forgot to mention they are off with Kirkman. Yes, so it's you guys
They're gonna
and
go see
Savine.
the little children that are bitten.
Right, they're gonna go take care of all the.
And then Kirkman's gonna be
Right,
like,
there's a
okay,
little
it's time
girl
for you
here
to
with
do
a
it.
bite and a fever that somebody lit in. We gotta execute her. So.
Kirkman's like, well, you're trained, you can do it.
Right.
All right.
And
Well,
who's got
doors
flashlight?
open and we breached loudly, so I say we rush it.
Yeah, I'm
You're gonna push into the first room.
That's what you do when you blow a handle
Yeah,
off a door.
yeah.
Skiba and Bowser in front, Sean and I in back.
Savini takes a position low behind the totally bulletproof, you know, couch. These are movie couches, it should be noted. They all count as cover, so.
I'm probably just gonna stay in the doorway, to be honest. Just kind of waiting it out to see what's going on.
I'm gonna follow Bowser.
Everybody give me a notice roll at a -4.
I don't need to notice anything.
Hey, what did my elven eye see?
You are the only person that notices the movement in the corner, which means that when Mr. Forsyth here unloads all 6 shots just randomly in the direction, that he doesn't get a +1 when shooting against you. Isn't this fun?
Well, as soon as the first one goes off, I would turn and unload with 5, but
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
this whole narrative, you know, surprise, he's got the drop, you know, everybody failed their notice rolls. But I am not going to give him a +4 to shoot as he would normally get from the drop. So you guys can all go, oh, thank you. What a friend. What a good GM we have that doesn't play the rules to our extreme disadvantage. But he was hiding there. So,
oh, I guess I missed him when I walked right next to him.
right? No, he was hiding behind a curtain back there, man. Just
Yeah.
still as
Pay
it
Yeah,
goes.
attention
every
to the man behind the
time.
curtain.
And he is panicked like a motherfucker. Firing off
Yeah,
in your
right?
general direction, and he gets a shooting at a -2. because it is dark in there. But also a plus, we'll just call it -2. First shot goes wide past Bowser's head. Only 5 more. Second one's at Savini's general direction. Oh, Lord of
Uh-oh.
mercy.
Shit. Uh-oh.
He has some body armor.
Savini gets plugged. He has
Oh,
a
fuck.
38, which, oh, they didn't give to his character. That's fun. I love that.
Is he wearing the
Kevlar.
Kevlar
He is.
bullet reducing?
That's good. Okay, that's not good.
Boom! But even
Two
with
wounds.
the
Fuck.
AP there, the round strikes him in the neck, and he spins
Oh,
to the
shit.
floor. Well,
Benny?
why would I spend a Benny on an NPC? Don't be foolish.
Yeah, but the vest takes -4 damage.
Yeah.
AP
Bullet
9,
damage.
17 damage, so we remove 4 from that, so I only took 1 wound and he's still dead.
Yeah, 'cause he's not a wild
Holy.
card.
Skibbas. I'm surprised he's this good of a. He's a D6 shot. That's. Oh, real
Getting
wide
lucky.
there. And then that's 3, so we're gonna put another one at Bowser. That is, I'm assuming. Oh.
Oh, fuck.
That is a hit. Parry 4.
Ow. That's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's good.
Everything is fine.
You're wearing the Kevlar too.
And the
You're
helmet.
so bad.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
it doesn't
armed.
need to. The
Oh,
Kevlar
thank
vest
God.
absorbs the round. Now, for the continued efficacy of your Kevlar vest, why don't you give me a D4? We'll say 3, 4. Woot woot! Thank you, God Mode. You're such a badass. We
3, 4
appreciate you.
does what?
3, 4 means that your vest will take another round. 1, 2, fibers all busted up. Hey, there you
Hey.
go. Still got a bulletproof
Hey,
vest.
nice.
Congratulations.
Cool.
They're trying to stay alive, God Mode. I'm not sure how well it'll go,
God mode.
We're trying.
Alright, so that is 4, so just 2 more shots.
Better kill me, Will.
Well, yeah,
I'm
probably.
gonna shoot this guy.
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't even blame you at this point. He's literally shot you.
He
Like-
just shot me in my vest.
Yeah.
I'm a little pissed.
In fact, he's going to take that as a sign that you are one of the infected.
Oh, shit.
Shoot for my head.
Oh
It's
my
also
God.
helmeted.
Nope, he's going to fire at you again, and that is, of course, a 4.
Damn.
Ooh, fuck.
So, Mike Bowser
Give
getting
it to
shot
me hard.
twice. Yeah, boom! Your vest eats another one. I'm afraid it has eaten
Oh.
2 rounds at this point, so it is on a 4 that it'll eat this last round.
How about a 3 or a 4?
Man, a 3 or a 4. I mean, the more rounds, the less structural integrity, right? Like, maybe if you guys had these combat plates or something. I mean, these are just, you know, your lightweight Kevlar. So here comes this last one. He's gonna miss this time, though.
Better kill me.
He's definitely gonna miss this last time. I mean, there's just no way. Hey, look at that. He misses with the last one. Now,
I'm surprised he didn't even go after me. Shit.
I'm gonna need a
He did once.
spirit roll. No, he didn't.
No.
I'm gonna need a
just me and
spirit
Shiva.
roll. Well, and
Yeah, he
Savini.
killed that guy. Yeah.
Spirit roll from everybody to be able to hold your fire, and avoid melting him. Yeah, I know, it's a narrative thing. I know, you would just kill him. I get it.
Would this be
Well,
strong
failed
will
that.
would come in?
Huh?
Would strong will come in?
Is it a...
Self-confidence is powerful armor. Adds +2 to his total when resisting tests with smarts or spirit.
Yep. This would be a +2 for you. So everybody but Bowser, understandably, has resisted the urge to immediately open up on the fellow. So here's something to consider, right? This fellow knows what the fuck is going on, right? If you let Mike drop a mag into him, he is no longer going to know what the fuck is going on, right? He is out of rounds. You hear his gun go click, 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 right? If anybody is going to attempt to persuade Mike to not shoot this guy, oh boy, it's going to happen at a -2. Oh boy.
He just shot me 3 times.
He really did, though. He really...
I'm like, I can't imagine the return fire being even not being fast enough.
Right.
For us to get a word in edgewise.
Right. You'd be like, what? Oh, never mind. No. Oh, God. He's like strawberry jelly right now. My God.
I mean, I will try it, and I will use my
try.
I will use my command voice. I don't know if that gives me any.
Oh, what does
bonus?
command do? This is the first time that's really come into play, isn't it? Take a gander. God, I love this game.
Command is the basic ability to give clear instructions and support to allies in the thick of battle.
Ooh,
Extras in command range add +1 to their spirit rolls when attempting to recover from being shaken.
I would let you make a persuasion roll. Just straight flat, just normal dice. A 4 would succeed and be able to talk Mike down. Otherwise, I'm going to make him dump a whole mag into Forsyth.
All right, and it's going to be this simple. Bowser, we need him alive to figure out what the fuck is going on. Take him, hurt him, beat him. Just do it alive.
Well, if we take him alive, he's being tortured, old school style.
I learn more about you every weekend. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right, let's get the spirit roll, or the persuasion roll. Skibba.
Fuck a duck.
Hey, man, offload on him.
No, spend a Benny. Spend a Benny, dude.
Okay, I'll forget about these things.
This is worth it. This is story integrity here.
Jesus Christ.
That's better.
Hit with a raise. So, he spent a Benny and definitely succeeded on his persuasion roll with a raise. Aced it even. Needed a 4. Got a 10. Bowser, if you want to turn this into a social conflict where you argue the merits of putting this guy down, I'll allow you. I'm not going to make the dice dictate this.
I want to shoot the guy in the leg. He won't die if I shoot him in the leg.
Oh, yeah, that's how getting shot in the leg works 100% of the time.
Well, he'll at least die slow, and you guys can ask him your
right,
questions.
femoral artery, that's a slow death. That one.
I'm sorry, but if I walk into a room...
All right, you guys got 42 seconds. Go. No, it's true. Yeah, if you want to plug him in the leg, you can plug him in the leg. Why don't you roll again, though, because hitting him with the raise... Jesus Christ. All right. No, you hit him with a raise. Yeah, let's... Blam. Yeah, Mr. Forlington has been shot in the leg and is definitely in the process of bleeding out. If somebody does not apply medical aid to him...
I'm checking on Savini.
Savini...
I'm going to go to him.
Will also require medicine... Yeah, oh yeah. Man, your ribs are fucked. In fact, I would say all your vigor rolls are going to transpire with a -1 here for a minute because if your ribs aren't broken, they are certainly bruised. I mean, 3 rounds from a 38 with a pretty decent grouping like that, that's not...
From 6 feet away?
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, I'm going to go try and help Forsyth.
You're going to help?
Fucking alive.
I'm trying to help Savini.
All right, so it is going to be medicine rolls from both of you to stabilize. Savini's bleeding pretty bad.
Oh, crap. Unskilled.
Oh, God. If you wait, I can help.
Sure.
Okay.
I have the skill.
Then I'm applying pressure to the wound. That's all. I mean, I'm doing my first aid knowledge.
But shit, yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Bowser,
Yeah, you
fantastic.
go.
Yeah. Now you have stabilized him, and he is no longer incapacitated.
Yeah,
Alright,
that's
he is.
Savini, not that dickhead that
Yeah,
I shot.
no, Savini for sure.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm rolling my
that dude can
knowledge
bleed to death.
medicine.
Shit.
Got 4.
Fantastic, and you stabilize Forsyth.
I'm just gonna tell him, you do not get to die until I get off this
He
fucking
sees
shit.
that you are not infected and goes to hug you. Oh my god, thank you so much for saving me. Oh, I'm so
Gun
sorry,
out.
it's terrible.
You're a fucking idiot.
What?
Yeah, you ruined my vest, you piece of shit.
I'm so sorry, I thought you were one of them.
Dipshit.
And then he looks and he sees Savine and he says, "This is your fault. This wasn't supposed to happen. What are you doing?"
I knew it. You paid him, didn't you? Stupid
He wants
son
the
of a bitch.
fuck. He wanted the insurance money. God damn it.
You're a piece of shit. You know that? You just condemned so many people to die. I hope
Nobody,
you know that. And
nobody was supposed to die.
I'm putting his hands behind his back.
Describe that to me.
Well, I would have had to scoot down out of my chair to do any first aid on him. So I'm basically on the floor. I'm going. I would have had to get in my bag for my first aid supplies, and I keep my tool bag for my chair in my bag. And the number one thing I for sure bring on trips is a set of zip ties. Pretty big zip ties, because if you lose a bolt on your chair, you can use a zip tie. So I'm gonna zip tie his hands.
I am not sure that he is going to let you zip tie his hands. So I am going to need an opposed strength roll.
I'm not sure he's got much of a fucking
Well,
choice.
I mean, that can be established. It's fine. He got a 1 on it anyway, so. But a trait roll of a natural 1, I'm afraid, because that's the flavor of tonight. He struggles against it and he says, "That's really not necessary."
We stopped the Marines.
None of this was supposed to happen. Nobody was supposed to get hurt.
I'm gonna put one of those next to his fucking head.
Oh, you're just blow!
Into the wall.
Yeah.
Where I'm clearly not gonna hit him, but
right.
to let him know that I'm not fucking around.
He shrieks and cowers, for sure.
I'll get his hands behind his back.
Yeah, no resistance this time.
I am very trained in this.
Well, and at this point, you guys have demonstrated a willingness to shoot him.
Tired of these motherfucking snakes.
In my motherfucking plane.
And I pat him down.
The colonel walks up to him, one hand on his throat, right, and pulls out his deagle, and he says, "Give me one reason not to fucking kill you right now."
Because he has the controls.
Lady, have you seen the bridge? Nobody has no controls.
He has information. I will let you do whatever the hell you want afterward. I don't care.
He pistol whips old dude.
All
42 pounds of deagle. Boom, you know.
I'm starting to calm this down and back people away from him. I'll stand guard.
Persuasion check there. He's agitated. He's just been accused of calling this. He's lost good men. Yeah, alright. He sees reason.
I am now kind of the protector of Mr. Forsyth, unfortunately.
Mr. Forsyth doesn't feel especially protected. He's been shot in the leg. He's, now zip-tied. He's been pistol whipped. Somebody put a round in the wall next to his head. But he is very forthcoming now, should you have any questions.
I'm going to pick him up, and I'm going to sit him in the chair next to us.
I'm gonna make sure the door is shut so we don't get any incoming little friends.
Yeah, all
Is there
that
any
noise.
light? Is there any light source in here
Yeah,
yet that
Just
we
a
can?
candlelight.
I'll
Yeah.
watch the door.
I'm gonna
I'll
hand.
carry him
Get a
over to the
chair up under
candlelight.
it.
I'm gonna give our mercenary
Mm.
friend one of these little whiskey bottles that I have.
Oh yeah, he nods at you thankfully, and
I'm
any
patting
future
what's that
persuasion
down.
rolls against Savini will be at a +1.
I'm gonna say that'll thin your blood. Okay, okay.
Lady,
We're fine, Mary.
thin blood is the very least of my concerns right now.
All right, I pat Mr. Forsyth down, get anything out of his pockets, papers, wallet,
Just a cell phone, wallet, credit cards. No.
cell phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
cell phone.
Functional. Any bars?
Yeah. I mean, the same as everybody else. It's got bars.
I didn't know if he had some stupid bougie private fucking line
Nah.
or
Satellite
something.
phone.
Nah, it's just an iPhone, you know.
And what type of gun did he have?
It was a .38 revolver. Well, Saturday night special deal.
I'd pick it up and
He
put it in
had
my back.
no more rounds for it though. He had the 6 shots on him, so.
What? Yeah.
That's fine. I'll take it.
So, does anybody have any questions for Mr. Forsyth?
Fuck yes, I do.
And by the way,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stand behind Mr. Forsyth to where he can't see me. I'm like just nodding my head at these people, like, don't hurt him, or don't get carried away. I'm not saying it, but
Right.
I'm just keeping my hands on his shoulders with him sitting down,
Mm-hmm.
so he can't move.
Well, he's not trying to move at this point. I mean, he's clearly. I mean, he's a rich dude. He's not. He fired at you guys out of a blind panic because there was movement in his room. Like, there was no. He's a big old pussy. So what do you want to know? Yeah.
I want you to tell me every little bit of information you have about this entire boat, about what you planned, about fucking whatever you ate for breakfast. I want to know everything.
Well, that was 2 soft-boiled eggs, half a grapefruit, and some whole
Don't
wheat.
be a fucking little bitch.
No, alright, so, I mean, listen, I'm deep in debt with my investors. I've nearly bankrupted myself on the construction of this ship. Too many of my banks were calling in the loan simultaneously due to a series of bad investments. I mean, who would have thought that bicycle frozen yogurt delivery wouldn't pan out, but here we are, right? Like, no, it's Frogo. It was going to be, it was going to be a new thing. You've never been a venture capitalist, clearly, but... So really, the only hope that I had was to sink the Pinnacle and make it look like some kind of terrorist or pirate attack so that I could collect the insurance money to keep my loans afloat. Honestly, nobody was supposed to get hurt. I hired Colonel Savini because he came highly recommended. I mean, he was the top ad in the back of Soldier of Fortune magazine, I'm telling you. He even had a little color display. It was the real deal. No, it was, dark web or whatever, I'm sure. I don't know where you hire mercenaries these days, but that's where he got him.
Okay.
I have absolutely nothing to do with the sick people on this ship right now. That wasn't part of the plan.
Was there anyone you worked with when...
Nothing like that, lady. It was a simple deal to sink the ship, collect some insurance money, and pay off some debt. I literally and truthfully have no idea what the hell on this ship is.
What do you know about the ship? Is there any type of secondary engine? Is there...
I'm not an engineer. I threw money at this. What I know is that my suite has 2 bathrooms. That's what I know.
Okay, what else do you have in the suite?
A computer, some candles, my clothes, a bunch of liquor.
Come on, You don't have anything special in here for yourself.
I mean, I've got a little bit of blow. I am. Speaking of which, I could really use a bump right now. Do you guys mind?
Yes.
I keep my hands on his shoulders.
Yeah.
I'm nursing my wounds over in the sofa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
You're aching like a motherfucker.
do you have a safe in this room?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Where's it at?
In the bedroom.
Is there anybody else in that bedroom?
Nah, man.
Is he telling the truth?
I mean, at this point, if there was somebody in there, I'm pretty sure they would have made themselves apparent.
We just
Okay.
meant we're
I guess I can pick you up and carry you into the bedroom first.
My blow's back there, so I mean, we'd be closer to my solution. Little booger sugar, you know.
All right, I haul him up by his shoulders, grab him
He
his shirt.
winces at the leg.
Oh yeah, yep, absolutely. And I'm carrying him at a quick pace to make it really hurt.
Yeah, oh yeah,
to
no,
his bedroom.
Hey, come on, man, take it easy. I'm not. What am I gonna do here?
You're gonna be in pain.
Well, clearly.
Where's the safe?
In the back wall. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, what are you even trying to get?
You'll see. What's the combination?
I don't want to say.
We will shoot you.
It's 6969.
Oh my fucking god, is it
Of
child?
course it is.
I opened the safe.
Yeah.
Is there documents?
Yeah.
What?
Some legal documents pertaining to a series of debt. Apparently, there are 2 entities that are currently suing him. There are some treasury bonds in there, but just about $10,000 worth of them. And that is literally it.
I'm just grabbing the information that's evidence against him.
Yeah. Oh, so you're gonna see him prosecuted? Good.
I'm telling you, I am ever the cop, sir.
Right. I love it.
I don't want the money. I don't want the bonds. I am after what he is trying to hide.
Kirkman shows up and kind of slowly pushes open the door, sees the situation seems to be sorted, and comes up and says, "All right, what's the situation then? What's he know?"
He's a fucking dipshit. That's what the situation is.
I could have told you.
He hired Savini and his crew to destroy the ship and sink it for insurance. This is a fucking fraud case. He has no idea about the infected.
Well, that seems like a hell of a coincidence, doesn't it?
Well, the fact that Savini had no idea what the hell he was going to be walking into, I believe him. I don't think.
So what's going on? I mean, what's the
this
rest
is
of this
this
shit?
is some. Well, this infection is some unnatural shit. So.
It's an infection, from what I see.
And who knows if these people were infected before they even came on the ship? Because remember, I ran it. Patient 0 for me. He was already hot and sweaty and stuff before I met the guy, and that was like day 1.5.
Give me a notice roll, everybody.
Oh God, don't like this.
I think that's the first one I've hit all night.
Yeah.
Your attention is drawn to the porthole because everything is dark, right? There's no ship lighting, it's candlelight in here. And you see in the distance 2 red flashing lights and some big spotlights set on either side of a large ship. That, let's see here, did anybody? Nobody did. Yeah, some kind of large vessel seems to be approaching the stern of the pinnacle.
Well,
A
that's
few hundred
good.
yards out.
I mean, should we send up the flares? We have flares. I don't.
You do, in fact, have flares, yeah. It would be a short walk out onto the deck.
But wasn't that where the swarm was?
Earlier, it moves.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Would it be super safe? Definitely not. I'm not sure what you think setting off a flare is going to do for anybody, you know. If
just
not
to
attract, they're kind of
get
designed
together.
to attract attention. I mean, that's the, you know.
Well, yeah, it's a chance. It's a ship. You guys think?
I think we should shoot off the flare.
We are only
Absolutely.
chance to get off
Are you guys
here.
going to work your
Does-
way
well,
out to the deck then as a group?
Does the porthole open?
It does not. No, these are, you know, they're all sealed.
Can I shoot it open?
Yes.
There,
Is this Wednesday? Is this Wednesday night? Are you changing a baby with a gun right now? Is that what's
How
happening?
far-
Mike just plays Mike.
We're
How far is the
It's
deck?
Okay.
You
You
are.
thought Jeremiah was a character.
You'd
I
have
mean,
to
we
go
are
down
in the penthouse.
2 levels, right, to get to the main deck.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, are you saying the owner of this ship does not have a balcony?
Oh, you know what?
his
He
cruise
doesn't
ships?
though, because this is the official map, and there is no penthouse balcony. I didn't even
Hmm.
make this one.
He's a cheap bastard.
That's
Right.
some horrible.
I know that's terrible ship design.
Horrible design.
I don't disagree. But are
Alright,
you guys going to
so-
go out to the deck of the ship? I don't have anything spooky planned on your trip to the deck. I'm just asking the question.
Oh, it
God,
just
guys.
seems like a long walk.
Wait, now, do you open the door though? No. I mean, come on. I need to know, do you put your hand on the door knob? It's important, distinctly. No. If you guys
Okay.
make your way to the deck, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that then.
All right. The
If everyone
ship,
wants to
give
do
me
that.
another notice roll.
Okay. Oh boy.
Oh, good lord. Oh, natural 1 trait roll. What?
Okay, I got a.
I keep seeing Sean's dice roll and roll and roll, and then it ends and it
know.
goes natural 1. Eh.
I know.
So, Jesus Christ, Skibba, Mary, it's a Coast Guard cutter.
Oh, super sweet.
It
Fucking
is
flare, like the fucking flare.
headed towards you guys. It is only 100 yards off now, and has not changed course or slowed down.
Ah, son
And
of a whore.
I am
Can I
going to
grab the
need
rail?
another notice roll from everybody.
Get inside, get inside.
Sean,
Enjoying the breeze out here.
Sean, what the fuck is going on?
Just got fucked
Did you get a
royally,
nat
I'm
1
just
macro? I mean, what are you doing there? Like, it's been like 8 tonight though from you. I swear to God. But what you notice, friends, is there are bodies on the deck of the cutter, and there is a person in the lit cabin that you can see, but half their face is missing, revealing
Fucking shit.
just one of those grins that you keep seeing
That
on
little
some
bitch.
of them. As
No.
No, I refuse to allow this to happen. No, this was rescue. We were getting rescued, and it
Got my
plows
hopes up for nothing.
into the side of the ship. Come on, we can do better than that. I hate these.
Wow,
random-
that was a weak little.
Come on.
It's a really light Coast Guard ship.
Lots of them. Oh, there we go. That's the one we wanted.
That was the good one.
Rams into the side of the ship, and you hear a thum, 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 as a series of detonations go off below the water line. Whatever the impact there seems to have triggered Savini's devices. And it impacts with such a ferocity that bodies are thrown from the cutter into the ship. Pinnacle starts to lilt, and we will continue next week.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Skipper lives.
You've killed us all.
Yeah, no, this is.
Really?
I mean, you just need to get together in a little quartet, right? Right, and start playing that, ta na 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 na, because yeah. Oh
I forgot
boy,
my
so
cello.
Going down.
help arrived, huh?
Just trying to decide if it's worth it to try and board that ship, or did it totally get?
Oh my
fucked?
God, there is no. Are you kidding? No, they are both mangled. It was the iceberg, and y'all on the Titanic. Except for
So
imagine.
we just got to get a rescue dinghy.
Imagine the Titanic also had a series of plastic explosives set to detonate below the waterline that were just triggered as well. So, yeah. Oh boy. Next
All right,
week
so
is
I
going
want
to
to
be
run
great.
back inside and shoot that guy in the head before we
Yeah,
end.
just blat Forsyth. All right, let's go. Problem solved. But that is
Just
our
blast
show
him.
this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it very much. We're trying to do something different here on Friday nights, and we hope that it pays off. We appreciate every single one of you. Big shout out to God Mode for the bits donation. You are a
Yes.
magnificent bastard. Gone postal. You're gone from the chat, but not forgotten. Thank you so much for the follow. And that'll be it. Please tune in Sunday for the series premiere of 50 Fathoms, where I take a series of pirate folk through the enchanted waters of the island world of Charybdis. It's got seal people and crab dudes and, krakens. It's gonna be Pirates of the Caribbean, but better because it's run by us. So from the League of Gentlemen Explorers to each and every one of you, may your dice always roll hot, and have a fantastic night. Thanks for watching.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
You guys all rock. You're all the best. Every single one of you
Yes.
is the best.
Mwah.
Equally.